Hey.
What are you guys listening to?
The theme song.
Imaginary song.
You can't hear it.
Imaginary dance.
What is good? What is happening, everybody? My name is C.
My name is Notion.
Welcome to episode 24 of Bandcamp. You know what I'm saying? Bad Habits of Podcast. We have Dan in the building.
What up, Dan?
As always, Dan, I need you to... You're going to project. You look, the man didn't hear you, fam. You know? This evening... There you go. You good?
You're right, innit?
You're right.
Easy thing.
Now, this evening, we have one of my favorite humans on the motherfucking planet joining us.
Top us.
This gentleman, I met Josh, a.k.a. Uncle Terry. We'll talk about that. I think it was nearly 10 years ago. It was March 2011. We worked together at Apple. We started together. I was like, who is this kid who's 10 years younger?
It might have been February.
It was March 24th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, word?
No, I'm fucking wrong. You are correct. Because I always tell Tiff, because the second day of core is when I first saw Tiff, when they made us go to the store. So it's February 27th, 2011, because I always say that to her, like, if I'm being ridiculous. So it's February 26th. I think we sat next to each other, and I didn't know anything. Probably didn't even know Trinidad was a country. I heard your accent, and I was like, all right, cool, like, young, cool, like, dude, like.
And I heard yours. I was just like, oh, shit.
You're like, all right, too funny talking.
The guy with the crocodiles.
We're like, I don't know what he's saying, but I like him. Let's hang out. And we just clicked from the jump, and literally we've been close friends. I consider you family, my brother. And we have worked together on all of our major creative projects ever since. So, Joshua Telfer in the motherfucking building. Let's give him some applause. Hey!
What up,
Uncle Terry.
What up, fam?
I'm chilling. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, man. Pleasure. I know we've been
Episode 24.
to come on episode 24, you know what I'm saying? It's about to say that. In my mind, you know what's really funny is that when we met, you were... How old are you now, if I can ask on air?
29.
So you were 19 when we met. In my mind, or maybe... Yeah, no, you might have been. Wasn't your birthday in February?
No, birthday's in June. So
Fuck.
If it was 09...
I'm shocking at birthdays. Don't feel bad about that, dude. That's all right. That's
18 or 19.
You've been 19. So in my mind, that's how old you are. Like I can't get past. Like you know you.
Oh, Uncle Terry.
Because you're Uncle Terry, but like you're nearly fucking 30. It's crazy.
Still Uncle Terry.
Bro.
By the way, we call you Uncle Terry. I don't know why we always joke, and it's funnier to call someone that much younger than me Uncle. And your middle name is Terrence or Uncle Terry, which. To be even funnier is Dan's father's name, who is literally Tiffany's Uncle Terry and my Uncle Terry by default. And then we had one moment when Dan and the family visited in 2017, and we went on Sinclair near the Macca's, and there was Uncle Terry Josh and the other Uncle Terry in the same space.
Oh, triple Terry sandwich.
It was a lot of Terry, man. It was a beautiful thing.
It's a glitch in the magic.
Sean is in the building. What up, Sean? What up, son? What up,
Sean?
So. Josh, you are a multidisciplinary creative. You did get the fires. You're a multidisciplinary creative. You do a whole bunch of stuff. So to give people context, because I feel like it's interesting, and a lot of people don't really understand maybe what goes into the different types of creative stuff you do. We are all rocking your latest creation right now, the Black Lives Matters hoodies, and Dan has the sweat. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about that in a second. Do you want to maybe just give people a background, sort of who you are, what you actually do, and sort of what who you sort of work with? Just a bit of a vibe about what you have to.
So, I have the benefit of both growing up in Canada and the Caribbean. So I lived in Hamilton of all places.
Really? I think I knew that.
I was born in Hamilton.
Down to the hammer.
No shit, man's in Hamilton.
Because my mom went to McMaster. So I was born in Hamilton and lived there in Mississauga until I was about 6. Went back to Trinidad, lived in Trinidad until I was about 14. And then second year high school, we moved to Tobago. And then lived in Tobago until I was 18 and then moved up here. And then did art and design foundations first. Then did graphic design after that. Then got hired at Apple. Then started climbing rooftops and taking pictures with my iPhone.
Yes.
And then a bunch of coworkers told me I should buy a DSLR. Actually, Tiff's camera was a T4i or T3i, T2i maybe even.
Yeah, the very first
was
camera.
One of the first DSLRs I ever shot on. I think we did the
Indie Experiment covers.
All three of them.
All three.
Camera.
And you did the design, and it was probably the first real shit I think you'd done. You'd fucked around with the photos.
To date, that's still some of the most creative shit I think I've done for an album cover.
Man, it was so sick. If people haven't seen it,
the flat lays, the stencil with the fake coke, like that one was different.
I wonder if I could like pull in the files. I think I actually can on this program. But basically, when we first connected. And we were, hanging out a lot at Apple and getting in trouble for talking too much and shit. I went solo. My group that I was in at the time ended, and it was like I started all my solo stuff, and you were designing, and you were a part of my first solo video ever, Pot of Gold, that we did with Dave Dunville. Shouts to Dave.
Fun video, that one.
That was great, because that was like every time I watched
Dave
that.
Was actually the guy
that was a full squad activation.
Dave was one of the first people that told me to get DSLR.
He was? Okay.
He was one of the major influences. He always used to tell me, he's just like, yo, bro, you're fucking up. Like, get a camera. Like, you are one of the people that need to have a camera.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I got it, and it changed the game. I've been shooting ever since.
You really have. It's been crazy. I'm putting up the first cover on, it's covering Brad's face. Sorry, Doug.
Sick. No, all good, mate.
Basically, to
Shocking
what we
anyway.
did. No, it's a beautiful one. Don't you say that about that fucking face of yours. What the concept was to put my name C in different materials so it was engaging, and I wanted to use Tiffany as the model for it, and she I kind of forced her into it. So our friend Skunda,
Lippy.
Exactly, he got the
Skunda Wanda.
So he had this mirror in his backyard, and it was a sick old mirror. So he didn't mind if we drew on it. You traced the logo that you already designed for me, by the way. And you took, I still have that thing of lipstick. Did I ever tell you that? I still have it in my drawer. I kept it.
Oh, that's really?
Yeah.
Is it because any reason there, man?
Sometimes I pop it on from time to time.
Sometimes you chuck it on, yeah. Okay.
Sometimes I want to feel like a lady.
I
want to feel like a lady. It goes well with the beard, man.
Perfect.
Josh not only did the design. If you're listening on the audio, then go to the video to see it, or Google "See the Indie Experiment Volume 1." And basically, you drew it on the mirror and took the photo of Tiff holding the mirror, which is one of my favorite things I've ever been a part of. It's fucking amazing. Part 2, we put a mix of flour and sugar to make it look like cocaine, and we put it on a table, and you made the logo. I think you physically did it by hand even, and just moved the powder around, right, to make it look like
and then
that.
Just raised the stencil after, placed the bullet casings and baggies and like the
which is crazy
next to it.
And then
it's very Section 80, that one. I love that.
Yeah, actually going to put it up on the screen too.
That was the inspiration.
A little bit of inspiration. Yeah, like this, I can see the touches.
For sure, because it came out at the same time.
Yes, it did.
Craig and I, did you go to the Section 80 concert?
I didn't. But Jayla, who we're going to talk about soon because he's had to go through with, he put me on to Kendrick. He was the first person. He made me install.
Sick.
He's like, watch this, and he showed me High Power. And I was like, all right.
That was super dope.
So I've got it on the screen now. So that's flour and sugar to make it look like Coke, and we had a bunch of like beer and like I think I was doing Coke at the time, so I had some bags. And I think we put the empty bags around. Who does drugs?
That was at the Ossington apartment.
That was Ossington. This was done in Notion's part upstairs, and there's the lipstick at the front to tie it back in. That's why this one was super creative. And then part 3, we actually got some spray paint, and you cut a
I used the same stencil that we used for the
to make that. Okay, that's what that was. So you made a stencil.
Yeah.
So I still have that stencil too.
Yeah, you probably do. I remember you telling me you want to keep it.
Yes, and then that's on the screen now, and then that is still there. That thing that you stenciled in the back of where I used to live in just off Ossington is still there. You went and checked the other day, actually.
Yeah, it's still there.
And we made sure Tiff was in all of them. I think her hand was in the second one or something. But man.
I think she was holding the can. Maybe.
Yeah, she's holding the can in the third one. But yeah, so that was the first 3, and Tiff is saying, she commented here, so love that so much. The Coke shot will come back and haunt my professional career one day. the good thing about that is none of those covers, none of that music is on any DSPs because it's all mixtape stuff, rapping over shit I shouldn't be rapping over, or it's illegal. So anyway, that's where it started. So Tiff, you had a camera, you used that, you did it all, and that's where it sort of started with us working with you. And since then, for context, you've done my album cover, This Is All I Know. You did Notion's album for Heart on My Sleeve, his first album. You did the Bad Habits collab I dropped a couple years ago. You did the brand new EP I have coming in November 20th. Submitted that shit now. And I think his other stuff, you did all my singles in like 2011, 2012, 2013, all these singles I dropped. There might have been other stuff, but I think because we were just together, I remember we sat down in the break room and just did all the singles together one day, and we just figured it out. But I didn't want to bother you with the smaller stuff, so I only got you to do the bigger projects because you're a busy dude and all that. So so that's basically what you do. So right now, what do you consider yourself? Are you more of a photographer, designer? Are you doing both professionally still, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I still do both. The designer comes more in the play of clothing now. Like, I don't really do design. I mean, I guess that's not true. Like, I guess I still do cover art for people. Like, Caleb actually has a single coming out soon.
Nice.
I did his cover for that recently, like within the last 2 days.
Cool.
And I still do shoots here and there. Like, I did a shoot for Taekwondo Studio in Forest Hill the other day.
I saw that.
I did one for a fitness gym in Yonge and Eglinton the other day. But at the end of the day, like, it's still a global pandemic, so like photography is not the primary source of income.
Yeah.
But I'm still doing all of them. The hoodies are doing better than I thought they would, considering I've only really advertised with 1-2 Instagram posts at this point,
which is amazing. Let's just talk about that. We're all wearing the Black Lives Matters. How did this one come about, man? Like, I remember you showed me the logo like 6 months ago when you did it or some shit, and then I didn't realize you were doing gear.
I don't. So the life script I'd had done for a while. Like, the life is actually my handwriting. So I did the life.
You always trace your handwriting
in time.
Scan it
and then just do it in the computer, live trace, turn it into vector and all that. And then I think I was working on like a good life design, and then other random things, and then the George Floyd thing happened, and then all the other things happened, and I was just like, you know what, let me put my own twist on the design, and the life worked out perfectly, and there's a nice balance between script and font, and it was different compared to all of the other ones that I've seen in the past.
Very different.
A little more
super dope how you made the life curl around the letters.
And then I went through the loop-de-loops,
which is sick.
So to make it a little bit more in depth.
And what made you? I didn't. You know what? To be honest, no, I didn't even notice that actually. I just saw the whole thing and I didn't really notice that.
It made the embroidery really tricky doing that.
Should I bet?
Because like I can't replace certain letters. It's tricky. It's a whole bunch of technicalities.
Yeah, I bet. So why did you decide to turn this into merch? Or I don't know if you call it merch or a clothing line. What would you consider it? Or was it like just a drop? Like a one-off drop? Or?
Well, I also wanted to find a way to, as a Black creative in the city, give back in my own shape, way, or form. And I'm obviously not in a position where I have an exceeding amount of disposable income. So I wanted to find a way where I could contribute with my art, but also have funds to put towards something that had a bigger impact than myself.
Love it.
And with these, like, again, like a weekend, like I think I've already gotten about over $350 that I get to donate to whatever I get to choose.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Do you have any charities in mind, or is it kind of open so far?
So my girlfriend's brother-in-law, he just had his birthday, and he did this thing called 30 for 30, and he sent us a Word document of a bunch of different charities, and he wanted us to donate instead of giving him gifts, and he would match $10 of the first 30 people. So cool. He has a long list of different charities. I have to go through all of them and choose like I don't know how I want to do it, because obviously I'm going to continue selling the hoodies, so I'll probably choose my top three each. $300 or each, a certain amount, and then each one gets $100. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it yet, but
that's
basically the plan. Yeah,
I love it. And how you've only been selling them just via your personal Instagram, like there's no like web store.
Just DMs.
Just DMs.
So I have to get a Shopify site built up, because I have people from the UK asking, I have people from the States. Like, this guy wants one for an event on November 3rd. He lives in Vegas, but he wants me to ship it to Detroit for the event. Like, there's a whole bunch. Like, I have to figure out Shopify sites and payments, and I set up a Canada Post business account thanks to you, because you told me about that shit. I have like There's like shipping labels out the ass.
Man, just send them. Hey man, that's a beautiful thing.
I just asked her, she's like, yeah, can I have a couple? She just said, yeah, and she gave me like at least 75.
Canadians never really understood what
company. Yeah, it's keeping me busy. Nice, and it's cool. That I like working with my hands. I've always liked clothing and wearing stuff that I've designed and made. It's also nice when I get to see other people wearing it too.
I love it, man. And you collaborated with a mutual friend, someone else we both worked with, Justin Lau, or J Lau as he's known. He is was a music producer and a DJ, and Notion and I worked with him on a couple of joints. When was that? Like 2015, I think. We did our first like trap joints through J Lau. He was super dope. And he moved into the fashion game, and you've been working with him in all of his different fashion sort of exploits. He had a few little companies. He keeps sort of switching what he's doing, but he's now in the embroidery world, I guess. Is that accurate?
Yo, J-Law, I would say embroidery is definitely the main thing he's doing, but he's, like, as you said, he used to be a producer and a DJ, and then he just picked up a sewing machine and taught himself how to make clothing from scratch. Then he bought a $15,000 embroidery machine. Then he bought a $15,000 DTG printer, and he was printing T-shirts and all that sort of stuff. Now he basically does embroidery for a bunch of clients, but he's recently started doing leather as well. So he makes bags, like fanny pack bags. He's also working on some women clutches, all out of leather, and then incorporating the embroidery into the leather. But yeah, he's producing the hoodies. In the same backyard that we did the mirror shot is the same location that I'm making these hoodies now.
Look at
everything is all connected.
That's been one of the most creative households ever. They call it the powerhouse. A lot of people have lived there. A lot of friends from Apple started off. Shouts to Chanel. Shannon was a DJ, business partner of ours in Hip Hop and Breakfast, who's, funnily enough, moved to Melbourne, where we are from, which is
represent
full circle. You know what I'm saying? She's kind of wild that she's out there, young man. She's out there. And yeah, right. And a bunch of different people that you've worked with have lived in that place. And now, who lives there now? Is it just J-Lo?
So Angel was the most recent, and then Tasha, Angel's girlfriend, was there for a little bit too. Then they got their own place, and Justin replaced them with two women that he knows. One I think he knew, and the other he found on Kijiji. One of them is leaving actually, and the person who's replacing them is someone who you know. Oliver is going to be moving in.
Shouts to Oliver. Yeah. Why is he moving in?
Because one of the roommates didn't work out.
All right.
So she's moving out.
He had a wicked spot.
I think she's pretty much moved out already. And November 1st, Oliver, I believe, is moving in.
That's dope. He's a G. Tiff says, fun fact, I coined it the Powerhouse in 2011.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that. Make some noise for Tiff. Woo! Hey. But I need gunshots.
There it is.
Well, it definitely deserves more of a gunshot.
What year did you say?
2011. So they all moved in 2011. I actually remember it. I think they moved in that summer. When I think the event at Andy's Pool Hall was kind of popping for like Saturday swag and shit. It was going pretty hard. We performed there a couple times.
Saturday swag.
I know, man. So many memories. I feel like we're just talking too much shit that nobody's going to possibly understand, but that was good times in Toronto, you know? Lots of creative shit going on.
Good times.
Yeah, so... Okay, so...
A lifetime ago.
Doesn't it? It really, really does.
Super
I feel like,
lols.
Yeah, man. It was... Hey, that shit was fun, though, back in the day. Like, it was cool being around that creative energy with so many different people, particularly through Apple, where, you know, it was... a lot of people that we worked with...
I'll forever be grateful to Apple for that.
Likewise. As much as I hated the job... The people were like some of the dopest people I've in any job ever.
At least the ones that I handpicked were.
Yeah, exactly. All the maddest people like yourself, and I guess I met Tiff there. She's like all the times. We met Tiff. I mean, Jayla, Dave Dunville, who's an amazing videographer who did a couple videos for me. He's done crazy shit. That dude. He's just really, really creative as well. But it's like a really good place. It's spurred a lot of great people. So, as far as obviously the photography work kind of slowed up for a bit, but the design work, are you now? Because I think you were doing a bunch of graphic work for sort of clients typically, right? Like not even just like Caleb. So Caleb is a friend of yours who I worked with, who's a reggae singer. But like aside from the homies, are you doing shit for like if people reach out and go, hey, I need a logo or something like?
Not so much design.
Okay.
Not so much design. I think the only people I do design work for now are people I know.
Okay.
For the most part, unless I'm presented with a project that I think I can lend a hand to in a way that no one else can, or I think it's something that is super inspiring or something that I'm super passionate about. But those things don't happen that often.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Those things happen more often from people who I know.
Okay.
Which is why those are the ones I tend to do.
Right. I mean, design must be the most annoying. I feel like anyone working with clients, I want to actually ask if we can be candid about it, because I know that like we have clients in social media. It has its moments. Notion, as a mix engineer and a photographer as well, has clients, and I imagine the it's just like I don't want to name names. So like, yeah, we're not going to name names. We know who we're talking.
Low key.
We had an early client that we got Josh in with when we first started high season, which was not fun. Just like we've handed Terry some terrible clients.
It happens, Joe. It happens.
It really does.
No,
but like
I can take it all.
I feel like Notion has like the mixed clients who also can be particular and not really know what they're saying. That's one downside of working with clients. So design, I guess, is probably, from what I could tell, working with, seeing you work and being the middleman between a client and you, and then other people. Someone said Salim Hassan says, "Big up High Season Co." What up? I didn't even know.
Honestly.
Oh, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, what up? What up, son? What up? UK in the building.
What up, fam?
Cool.
Yeah, like what was like you? So if you moved away from design, tell us what the challenges of being a designer are, and then why you decided to move the focus on the photo.
I think so. The biggest thing for me with design is clients don't know what they want. They think they know what they want. And they present it to you like they know what they want. But when it comes down to it, they really don't. And they're also easily persuaded by how many options there are in the world. So like in between stages of something that you've discussed, they would see other things that inspire them or they think would be cool. And then all of a sudden they're just like, can you try this? Can you try that? It's just like, no, doesn't even really align with the vision that we were discussing at hand. Like focus. Like just focus on
like guys,
what
come
we're
on.
discussing.
Right.
And we'll get to the end project better. But a lot of times they're not sure of what they want, or they're not sure of how the process works. So they think something would be cool, but yeah, I could make your logo glow and look like it's lit up, but you can't embroider that on a t-shirt. Like, you know what I mean? So like you have to think about how it's going to be translated into other things and how you want it to be translated. Like if you're not going to put it on a t-shirt, then sure, you could have it glowing.
Right.
But if merch is something that you want to do and you want to do it in embroidery, then you can't have certain aspects like that. Photography I switched to because people are always going to hire me because of the way I shoot.
Okay.
Facts.
With design, I felt like a tool. With photography, I feel like a creative. Because they're never going to be like, shoot this like this. They're going to be like, this is what I want. Can you do it? Sure. Yeah. Sick. Shoot this for me. It's not going to be anything unless it's product photography, where it's just like it has to be lit a specific way and all that sort of stuff. Okay. 9 times out of 10, though, chances are they're going to be like, I want you to shoot it because I like the way you shoot stuff and I like the way you view stuff and your eye and your perspective and your framing and all that sort of stuff, which is stuff that I just do. I don't have to be told how to do it.
Okay. And that
so
didn't
for
happen.
that reason, I think.
Okay.
That didn't happen.
So that didn't happen through the design work? Like people didn't see your other shit and be like, yo, or at the end of the day, that because there's such a big gap between what they might think they want and then what you would do.
I think with the design, they weren't really referencing things that I've designed in the past as much. Like I don't know if that's because there wasn't as much content out. Like with photography, it's easy to take a lot of pictures and put out a lot of pictures. Like it's not as easy to have 4,000 cover arts like how I have 4,000 pictures on my Instagram page. So maybe they're not seeing as many examples of what I'm capable of doing or what I like to do. So they just tend to bring their own vision to the table, which is fine.
Right.
But I don't know, there's a lack of consistency in terms of what their end goal is, and me being the creative and the professional, I know the steps that would take to get there, and they don't necessarily always agree or want to take the same path.
Right. So
until we get there and they realize that they should have listened. Like,
in the first,
like it's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Tips like very interesting read, tool versus creative. I was gonna say Nosh. On that same note, this being that like Josh is the photographer and designer, you are a photographer and audio engineer. Can you speak to that client side of stuff as far as like how, and just to give people context, what it's like being the creative and the provider of services for artists? If there's artists watching and they're just, they might not really understand what goes into it. How do you feel as far as the same questions for Josh, like when you work with photography clients and audio clients? Is there sort of any challenges or anything that you deal with?
Well, you both touched on it pretty well before. Like you said that some people don't know the terminology and the language, and that's the barrier that I deal with the mixed clients. And some people say they want a certain thing, but they don't describe it right. So then the descriptors get mixed up, especially with mixing. But then when Josh was talking about the photography, like I primarily do product photography, so I'm getting a little more direction with that. But for the most part, because my eye and my framing and the way I see shit when it comes to primarily beer and stuff like that, and other products I've been doing lately, but like people just trust the eye. They like what I'm doing, but I do have more of okay, so this is new food items. We want to display like 7 products. We're going to have all of them seen and shit. So we want to make it like blah, blah, blah. That's the kind of direction I get with that. Yeah. But if I'm doing a photo shoot for artists or stuff like that, they usually trust me to be like, tell them how to move, body position. They might expect me to have 4 or 5 locations like up my ass, like just out of nowhere. But then sometimes you have to just like, get some direction and be like, hey, give me a fucking dot points.
Like reference images. Probably
yeah, reference photos, any sort of vibe. Like, do you want it to be warm, cold? Like just ask them like kind of key editing terms for photography to ask them what the end result they think is, and then you can kind of reverse engineer how or where to shoot, because sometimes that can be like, I have no idea, just want to leave it to you because you've got the eye. It's like, fuck, bro, like that's sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, that's also challenging too. Yeah.
And what about
photography is interesting because it's like it's a more on the spot creativity as opposed to design. You get to sit with your laptop and kind of like brainstorm and figure the shit out on your own. Whereas like when you're on a shoot,
trial and error.
You've got to do it
like,
now.
Like,
got to execute.
Yeah, you're just like, all right.
It's a lot more pressure.
Yes. It's like when you're doing a photo shoot per hour and you're out on location, like you get that pressure, like, oh, well, make me look good. Like, fuck, like sometimes the sun doesn't come out, or sometimes the blah, blah, blah isn't right. And so that's very challenging for sure.
Right. So it's like
tricky.
Different challenges.
Hard to get the direction. Yeah.
Right. For say, photography, which you're both seeing the same. And then it sounds like the design is quite similar to the audio engineering as far as the type of challenges. People don't know the terminology for design or audio and really what they want, but at the end of the day, it all sounds like the best possible scenario. And this is kind of all aimed at fellow, maybe you're a musician who work with people like Notion and Josh type of thing. Just trying to see what some best practices, what you feel. But it sounds like there's similar challenges even between audio and graphic design.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing you can do too is like just put out more, like even in terms of your personal work, just do a lot more work that you want to get hired for. Like put out the stuff that you want to get hired for. Like if you want to get hired for portraits, then put out more portraits. But a lot of times like it's tricky because you put out a bunch of different stuff and then people just reach out to you for all of those stuff, and one of those things might not be something you feel comfortable doing to charge, for example.
So if you both had any tips, maybe like 1 or 2 main tips for people who would be using either of 3 of those services, photography, audio, or design, what would be a tip to a potential client to make the process as efficient and streamlined as possible, and to sort of produce the best work from the creative side? This is both probably advice to artists working with guys like you, or other people like you guys, other designers who would be working with artists and stuff. Like what would be like, because they might not know what to ask for, you know what I mean? Like you guys are saying the things that you want people to tell them to get the result that you want. Do you guys have any tips for folks?
Sure.
You could start, Nosh.
Yeah. I'd say references for both audio, visual references. So mixing client, I want to hear, just say if someone's like, yo, I want to get some beats from you, dude. I want fucking soul samples, but I want some trap and I want some funk and some blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So if I've got a written sort of like, I want this sort of sound, I say, okay, cool. Can you send me 3 to 5 audio examples of your favorite joints that you want me to make beats like? Or if it's a mixing client, I'd say, okay, cool. So you like, whoever mixes, like, so Mixed by Ali does like all TDE and stuff like that. If you like that sort of stuff, send me your favorite like mixes by Ali or mixes by whoever, and I'd ask for references. So then the more they give, the easier it is to translate what they said.
Okay, so references are key.
References are key.
Terry, did you have any other tips as well?
No, preparation is huge. Know what you want, have reference photos, like as many reference photos as possible, like the more the better. Trust that the person, like you're reaching out to, like if you're reaching out to ask for something, you're reaching out for a reason, and you're reaching out to me for a reason, like you're not reaching out to someone else. So like trust that I have not just your vision at mind, but like I also have like your best interest in mind. So like I know what is going to work better than other things. You just like have an open ear to at least the suggestions that I'm making and the changes that I propose, or the changes that you propose that I shut down. Like I'm always going to tell you why, but at least a little bit more understanding and trust as to why I've said no and that sort of stuff.
These are great responses. No, sorry to turn this into like a double interview. It's just because this is like a nice little crossover here. I just thought it'd be like I can get both of your answers because they're both really great perspectives, and plus you two have worked together on multiple things as well over the years, so you guys already know how each other works. Whilst you're both creative, so you guys have a synergy. You guys are friends.
And we could speak the same language really easily. Plus, we just vibe on a friend level too, so it was extra fun. But like, that worked really well.
Did you ever? I wanted to ask you, Nosh, then, because Josh, you made that real, and you've said this to me before about feeling like a tool for somebody versus feeling like a creative. Do you ever feel like that sometimes when people are just like, do this, but they don't care about you and your sort of input? I guess that's what I'm getting from you, Josh. That's what you're talking about, like
for the mixing stuff, man. Not really at all, because people come to me because they like. I do a lot of like hip hop and rap and soulful based. Like I do a lot of like old school kind of shit, and I get that vintage sort of tape sound, and I'm like, that's why people come to me for that sort of vibe and color for the mixes or masters. So, yeah.
Okay, so you don't really ever feel like... So people, more so than, say, design, people come to you in the audio side already knowing they've heard your stuff, and they're like, oh, I want him to do my stuff because I like the way it sounds, and they're not really they don't really push back in the way that, say, Josh is saying the design clients push back.
Not as much. The only thing is like small creative decisions like delay or reverb, or can you put delay on this word instead of that one, or can you make it's very, very, very minor creative decisions which are not fundamental mixing things. So I don't really get pushback from that, because truth be told, like some of the clients that come, or a lot of the clients that come to me, they don't really know those mixing like terms, exercises and things like that, and terms as well. So they just trust that I know what the fuck I'm doing, because I spent a long time doing it. So that's extra reassuring too. But yeah, it's more smaller creative decisions like the fancy stuff, reverb, delay, echoes, and whatever. Like more flange or more chorus or more things, more effects, more bells and whistles. That's it.
Right, so it sounds like it aligns more with the photography that you both get, where they come to you both for your style. So. Yeah. Interesting, the design, and that doesn't really surprise me. I never actually asked you that, and just hearing that, because I always knew, Josh, whenever we work together, working with you is always a pleasure. I can't, like, I couldn't see myself working with anyone else on a serious level for any of the creative projects, the major ones that are important to me, because we keep our circle very small. Like, we fuck with, like, this one designer, that's Josh. Otherwise, we just do it ourselves in-house if it's something small and insignificant that I wouldn't want to waste your time with. As far as a photographer, we do it ourselves, Notion or you. That's it. We have, our video guy, Rich, does all of our videos, end of story. Stuff like that. And I found that keeping And even just in the producers that we work with are very sort of small. If we do something, we do a full project rather than, like with whole thing with Clarity and with Smokewell for my new one and stuff like that. Working with you is a pleasure for me because you understand. I don't have to tell you anything. You just already know what I like. You understand. I'm like, here's the new music. Like, I bet, boom, and you just nailed it. Like the new cover, I fucking love it. The point where we changed the title of the project based on your photo, it was that sick. Yeah. And then you made the graphic elements were so perfect. It looks seamless. Like it looks like the graphic elements were actually written on the bench. Like it's brilliant. So when you work with people on I guess on that sort of a level, like do you is work, because we keep it so small, is that important to you? Because I guess it sounds like you're only working with Caleb and a few other people. Like how important is that synergy with whether it's a client or somebody to the end product?
I think it's huge. I would say almost so, like to the point where I haven't had a bad client in a while, because like I could kind of just like, it's an energy thing. Like you can kind of feel the vibe and like feel how the experience is going to be from the initial like ask of wanting to hire you for whatever it is they want to hire you for. And you can tell the people who are serious and like they've already put a budget aside, and like your price isn't gonna like scare them away and like make them uncomfortable, and they're just not gonna respond after you tell them what your cost is and all that sort of stuff. Like you can tell the difference between people that are reaching out to you. So like now, like even people, like there's this guy that I've shot with, the same guy that organized the Taekwondo studio and the health fitness thing. He used a recommendation from Dave, actually, again. Dave Dunville recommended Skunder, right. And Skunder recommended me, and me and him have done a few shoots. Me, him, and Skunder did a few shoots, and then he just started reaching out to me for a couple in the last little while.
That's dope.
So I've only known him for 2 years, but the experience of working with him and the energy that I receive, like he gives me full creative control. Like he also knows what he wants. Like we'll look at the pictures together in the moment, and he'd be like, try it a little bit lower, try it a little bit higher, or he'd say, we got it, now just freestyle and do whatever you think looks good. Okay. I never have to ask him about payment. Like he always pays me on time. Like all those sorts of things make the experience. That's always clutch. Yeah, make the experience better. And those are the kind of gigs and jobs that I tend to gravitate towards. And if it's like that, I tend to continue taking on work from that person. If it's not, I'll say no the next time you reach out.
Okay, because I noticed, I actually kind of forgot what my original question was. But what I was going to say was I noticed in working with you both, for me and Nosh, like within the scope of, say, the music, and then, you also did the original BAOS logo and photo shoot and stuff like that as well. So like literally you did the original High Season logo and the photos that we were using. So like, you've been a part of every single thing we've ever done of even in a serious capacity. When we worked with you with clients, I found that there was you weren't as engaged, and it seemed like an annoying process for you. So that was why I was asking that question, was just because I'd seen that like when you like they were through High Season or something, just like randoms that we didn't even know. Like I would only send, if anyone wanted stuff, I'd only send you people that like I really could vouch for. Whereas like the clients were like, oh, they got money, let's go. And I could tell that there was definitely, and to be fair, the ones I'm talking about, we did not have a good synergy with, including us as well. So we didn't really bang.
I have one in mind. I can't really think about too many others, but there's one specific one I have, but I won't say anything.
On the High Season side?
The
big first
one.
Yeah, the early. Yeah. Where the money was low because we thought it was a good cause, and it ended up being a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like we're talking about the same.
Yeah, we are. So I have a question from Tiff, but I also want to ask about for both of you once again about money side of stuff. And then we'll get to Tiff's question, and then I think we might move into the music stuff. But for people wondering about money, whether it's like how to bring it up, how to price your shit. A lot of people don't know how to price what you're doing. You still don't. Okay. Can you both, Notion, Josh, like maybe speak to how you've Tiff's like, lol, we know. We know who we're talking about. like, can you speak about your how you both decide to price stuff? You know, when you decide to discount it, if you do package deals, if you do, you know, corporate pricing versus independent artist pricing, or, you know what I'm saying, like just sole trader. Could you maybe just give people both, once again, for say artists looking to pay somebody to do this work, how does it go? And then alternatively, if there's other service providers like creative service, you know, people like yourselves, how could they price their work to make it, you know, easy and fair? And because I think that's the one thing that stresses everybody out, because creatives typically don't fuck with the business side too much. It's not really something that
not as much as they should. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You want to start, Nosh, or you want me to start?
Sure. So music. People don't even know how much usual things should cost, and like depending on your expertise and the years you put in, whether you're going to school or not, depending on your gear, how much you've spent on all this sort of shit, that all comes in. So like your own gear, really, like if you have a boss ass camera versus a piece of shit camera, you're gonna have to charge accordingly. So you have to charge accordingly for, you know, with the gear that you have. And usually you just I started off with Googling things and like seeing how much people charge, but then some of them were just so ridiculous. It's like that doesn't even seem fucking fathomable, or like what the hell are you actually doing for fucking $5,000 for a whole, you know, album or less, or a couple of singles. So sometimes right. Like the numbers are out of control. But then like as technology got better and plugins got cheaper and everything like that, like, and it became more accessible. So then bedroom engineers and producers started just charging less and less, and like devaluing the whole skill of learning how to fucking mix, which is super hard. Yeah. Been mixing for fucking 17 years. I'm sick at it now. But how garbage was I at the start, Feezy? Like, hey, come on, mate.
You put in the work though, bro. Same with the production.
So it's just like you're paying for experience. So like, especially with like, now that I've got actually good gear that I saved my pennies for and whatever the fuck, like the amount of hours and years and shit that I've spent, that's what you're paying for. And then and it doesn't matter if I can get it done in 2 minutes or 2 hours, you're paying the same fucking price, mate. Because if it takes me 2 minutes to get a song mixed, which is super unrealistic, but just for this argument's sake, like, it takes 2 minutes to get it done. It took me 20 years to learn how to do it in 2 minutes. Yeah. So like that's what you're paying for. So that's super key. You're paying for experience, you're paying for knowledge, you're paying for efficiency. And I mean, if the work speaks for itself, then fuck off. But if you've spent the money getting the equipment up, and then you know exactly how to use it properly, then the work usually attracts more and more people. Because like, you know, I'll mix a 1-2 single for this person, and they play it to the mate, they love that shit. I do a 1-2 single for them, and then I'm doing an EP for them next month, and then it snowballs, and I'm doing albums at a time now. So I've got people coming back for whole projects rather than a couple of singles. So that's where it kind of like snowballs, and you start getting better and better, and like, so yeah, how
have you gone about putting your prices up?
Honestly, I've been doing it every year, but I should be doing it more often, because every time I tell someone that knows what the fuck's going on, what my prices are, they're like, oh, they're offended. It's like, what are you doing, bro? I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So I definitely have a super approachable price at the moment, but the things need to be rearranged, because in the last like year I've leveled up like 10-fold from the previous year, and it's just it's crazy. So constantly reevaluating that and seeing, you know, what to do there. So it's, you know, because I'm running it all myself, it's very difficult to know. And also some people don't even have the money, so you tell them these amounts that you're actually worth, and like, fuck off, dickhead, I can get buddy down the street to do it for blah blah blah.
Yeah, well, it's like, go get it.
Like, should I show? Yeah. And so then you show them the example, and then sometimes you can do, like, in mastering it's a little more common than mixing, because mixing's a pain in the dick. Like, they do shootouts. So you'd ask like 3 mastering engineers, like, I just say, for example, I'm fucking rapper A, and I'm following it, you two for mastering. And I'll be like, oh, okay, mate, I got fucking this song to master. And then I'll holler at Josh and go, I got this song to master. Both of you cunts master it for me. I'll see which one's better. Show me a snippet of it. And you shoot out for the business. That's what mastering engineers do a lot, which that's, you know, you're spending, you know, an hour to get a master right, to show them a snippet, to see if it's even, like, you're showing your ankle before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're putting in a lot of work to show them a snippet. And that's the thing that I don't really.
That's whack.
That's yeah, it happens a lot though. But you're dealing with like big time money at that point, and just for mastering only. I've got a friend that deals with that, which we'll talk about in future episodes. But like, yeah, that's a crazy part of it too. People ask you for free work all the time. The mixing engineer is undervalued as fuck.
Right.
And
I saw this.
The amount of hours that everyone puts in, it's just like, whew. But yeah, like I said, everything's cheaper, easier, more accessible. Everyone's learning it. People are just like doing it with no overhead, so they just drop their prices like fucking like, dude.
Race to the bottom.
These outboard gear, like all these units, compressors, EQs that you can buy thousands each. Like these studios are filled with like millions of dollars worth of shit, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff. It's just it's getting undervalued heavy. So that's a long-winded answer, but that's the mixing side of it.
Okay. Then no, that's great. That's what I want to hear. And Josh, like same thing. Like, how do you decide what you charge, and then how do you decide when to raise it?
I think in the last year I've started deciding that I'm not leaving my house for anything less than a certain amount.
Okay. I like that.
So now, like, I think in the past, like, I would do shoots for, like, if it's like a quick shoot, like maybe I could do it in an hour and a half. Like, I'd do $100-$150. Now I'm just like $250. But one thing I've also realized too is that there's a whole new level, or not a whole new level, a whole other level of charging for photography that I have never experienced. That the only reason I know about is because of something Nazca posted.
Okay.
Nazca Domini.
Shouts to Nazca.
Yeah, shouts to Nazca. He's huge and super inspirational. But he posted this thing, and like licensing in photography is like big deal. And he posted this article that had different invoices for photography jobs and stuff. Some of it was stuff like a corporate office wanted shots of their building to hang up in their lobby, and there was maybe 8 shots, but they wanted digital versions of them too, and they wanted perpetual licensing.
Okay. Because
they wanted perpetual licensing on it, this invoice came up to something like $67,000. And I was just like, huh? Like, I mean, I understand the reason to a certain extent. It's just like, what I don't understand is how you go from here to there.
Right.
Like,
how to connect that.
Because like, no doubt in my mind, can I take the same quality pictures? Like, especially if the equipment's the exact same. It might look different. I'm doing it my own way. It's still gonna be good. But where do you find the clients that are paying this much? And like, obviously it's corporate stuff. But then outside of that, another licensing details. I remember when I was working at Urban Barn, like I went through the catalog book and found the art buyer's email address. And one day I was working, this guy came in and he was just looking at the different prints, because Urban Barn only sells Canadian artists in terms of wall art.
Okay.
And I walked up to him and he was like, he was looking at them really closely, like inspecting them almost. And then I asked him, he's just like, oh, I'm the photographer. And I was just like, I'm like, how does this work? He's just like, honestly, like, I give them a certain amount of licenses, like how many times they can print it. And they give him a fat check. He sends him a high resolution image, and then they get it mass produced in China and ship it out.
Damn.
So those are the sort of things that I want to start dabbling in.
Okay.
Most recently, I just got recommended to do a product photography shoot for Shoppers Drug Mart, actually.
Nice.
And that was just from a guy in the city who's trying to get more Black creatives into those industries, because it's always predominantly white crews.
Yeah.
So it was like a group of us, and we all sent our decks. I had an hour to prepare a product photography deck and send it to him. And he sent it to the head of the studio, and then they're just trying to figure out, I think, who's going to get it. But my game plan is, even if I don't get it, I feel like I've impressed him enough to at least let him mentor and shadow on the shoot. Even if I don't get it, I'm just like, yo, can I shadow so that next time this comes up, I'm at least more prepared. And then that will start, because those are easily couples of thousands of dollars for those. So
that's the hustle, man.
That's fire.
And that's the grind. Congrats, bro. And that's the grind that people don't put in, because you even thought to be like, yo, can I come through anyway? And
Well, I haven't done it yet, but once he responds, that's the game plan.
If you did, I love it. It's beautiful. The other thing I just want to even add to what you guys were saying about the money is once, like what we were putting our prices up, say just for high season for the social media stuff, we'll put it up every year. And as we kept getting better and better clients, as in, what's the word? More elite clients.
Larger business, yeah.
Yeah, we put it up, and as soon as someone pays this higher rate, that's the rate. So like our rate is exorbitant now, like from what we used to charge, because we have two major clients, literally one of the biggest companies on the entire planet, top three, top three, yeah, as far as their worth, are our client. They're paying us a 4-person agency, but started off as 2.
Sick.
And they're paying us for that shit. And as soon as they hit that rate, fam, that's the fucking minimum, and we ain't doing shit for less than that. And it means that we're knocking back significantly, a significant volume of business, but you start to value your worth. And I guess it's still kind of creative work that we do as well in that space. So I want to align with you guys, and I've encouraged you both over the years to continually put your rates up, because you're both extremely skilled at what you do. And I feel like you both have a tendency to undercharge because you have just either wanted the business or just didn't have that confidence.
Also, we both, sorry to jump in there, we both seem to have a lot of like repeat sort of like close clients, like either mates or like, super repeat clients that when they bring us bulk shit, like I'll give a man's a deal still, like it's on
that's
a mix
good.
Of,
and
so that's
you
where a lot of work, and that's the thing, I feel like it feels right. And it works out well anyway, because then they know what it is, and you can kind of lock in a solid bulk rate. That's what essentially I've done with mixing albums.
Right.
And then so I get people bringing 10, 13, 15 song albums at a time to me instead of like 3 singles. Or if they're in the middle of projects, then I'll get a 1, 2, 3 singles, and then just keep it the same. Just I think I have 3 clients that I have that bulk rate like locked in there, and it hasn't changed for years because they just hold it down. I hold it down. It's a good scratch back situation.
Right. So that's also another way to look at it as well.
And plus, like I enjoy the music that I fucks with them, so it's like it's a double win. It doesn't happen all the time. That's a pretty ideal situation for both. But that can happen if people bring bulk, then mans get love.
Right. I love that.
Whether it's mixing or photography, I'll do a break on either, but it has to be worth it, and that's what I have been like, being more conscious of and working around the numbers and the efficiency with the effort,
No, I love it.
Weighing it out, so yeah.
So you're always going to look at that as well. Like, do you want to turn somebody away by getting that, or is there a future benefit by charging less, but there's going to be a lot over time, and they might recommend new clients too, where you're making back that money and then some.
That's a trade-off.
So it kind of can work out. Tiff had a question I want to put to both of you. She said, what's your favorite kind of shoot, and what's the worst? For example, wedding shoots. So as photographers, favorite and least favorite type of shoots. It's tough. I would imagine wedding would suck assholes. I could not imagine that.
I've
done one wedding. You've done a couple.
Yeah, I think I did one, maybe.
And what were you both just like? Yes, and like, okay, that was fun. Never again, or what was?
Well, I did the homie's wedding. Oh, that's in Dahn. That was honestly a genuine good time. Unfortunately, it was during COVID and things. Only 30 people in the backyard in Markham out there represent. But it was cool. But like I was still 35 degrees in a fucking suit, bending down, taking clicks, and it was definitely hard work, but it was pleasure because it was my absolute family, so that was cool. So that would be like that was my first wedding. I'd done engagements and stuff. That would be stressful because if you miss the moment, it is gone. That's the stressful part. It's like fuck. Okay, what are you gonna do? So then product shoots soft. You can just rearrange it. And sometimes. Only stress with product shoots if you're doing like beer or you're doing food. If you eat it or you drink it, sometimes you can't replace it. Fuck. Yeah. That's the only other issue with that. Otherwise, it's soft.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
For me, weddings are like a double-edged sword because it's the one shoot to me that would feel like work. Every other shoot would just feel like I'm being creative and I'm having fun. Right. Doing what I'm passionate about. weddings you'd have, it'd be like back to design again. You'd have direction. You'd be like, be there, be here, be here, be there.
Wear this.
And like all that sort of stuff. Like you're being told where to be and what to shoot and when to shoot it. However, it is a completely staged arena for you to just be creative in, which is also amazing. Like it's nice to have stuff properly and professionally staged, and you can just walk around with the camera and shoot in it.
Everything's beautiful. Yeah,
because everything's beautiful. Like it's kind of like you can't face your camera in a direction where it won't look good. So that's a cool part, which is why I would do a second assistant camera or something for a wedding. And then the main camera does all the main shots, and then I could just float around for the entire day and take whatever I think is cool. Like I'd do that.
That's fun.
But in terms of the best shoots for me, like I'm gonna talk about the ones that I've done because I don't know about others. But the ones that I've done that I've really enjoyed is live music. Like going on tour with artists was fucking phenomenal. A lot of work, but super fun. Shooting concerts, super fun. Being in a photo pit, there's nothing like it. And then the stuff that I've done for my aunt, like the fashion photography and the models and the dresses and stuff, that also, again, hard to shoot something that doesn't look good because she has makeup artists, she's hiring professional models, and she has really cool clothing.
Right.
And it's in the Caribbean, so
everything's
colors and everything is just like it's like a walk in the park. But yeah, those, and then landscape and travel photography is always going to be something that I just do because it's how I got into it.
Right.
Architecture, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so
Dunny, mate.
Yeah, mate, you're good. It's like every time we used to come to Montreal, and we'd always be walking all of a sudden, where's Josh? You're like, it's all right, let's keep going, I'll catch up. And you'd be like taking a picture of a hummingbird and a flower or some bullshit.
And that's everybody I'm with at all times. Like, if I have my camera, like I've had to repeat that sentence so many times I can't even read it.
I was like, oh, he gets it. He'll always catch up.
Yeah, always. I'm also one of the fastest walkers too. Like everyone says I walk too fast. So
I didn't say you walk too fast at all. I think you're
also a fast walker.
Yeah, that's why everyone gets mad at me.
Yeah, you're also a fast walker. But every single person, like I walk with Winston, and Winston would like get left behind and jog every couple of steps just to catch up to where I'm at.
Some people are just a little bit more chill, or I don't know why. Maybe it's like that city sense of urgency where you just go, let's fucking go. What do you want to do?
Like my dad does.
He walks fast too?
I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah, he's super fast.
No, this is great. I feel like I hope that part anyway, like I wanted to sort of not only just get into what you do, but I wanted to sort of paint that picture for people to show them like what it's like on the other side of, from the creative side and the challenges. So I hope people get into that. Sean's just saying here, I can definitely say whatever I've heard from Notion has always been proper. I agree. Notion stuff, actually, even just on this EP, the one you just did the cover for, every mix I've even, and this is what's been interesting about watching the growth of, say, fucking glasses, of you and Nosh, is that when, as you've gone along, you guys have just got better and better and better all the time. And it's really interesting. See, these last lot of mixes, hi Nosh.
Hey mate.
I was saying, Sean said, you're right. He said everything he's heard from you has been proper. I was just saying it's cool to watch you both grow. Like both of your photography just get better and better and better. Notice your mixes, like the last EP. I bet there was barely any. Like most of them were just you'd send us a mix. I'm like, yep, wouldn't even change anything. Probably 85% of the time. Which is
thanks, man. That's what I'm saying. But just leveling up recently has been fucking insane, and I don't know, everything's getting a lot easier. I've been getting less and less revisions from clients, and that's what I was saying before. Like, not to fucking brag or nothing. Like, I usually get a lot of initially a lot of volume adjustments or creative stuff like reverb and delay, but like things have gotten a lot tighter. So it's sick.
It signifies the growth of both of you, because even like Josh, the last couple of covers you did for me, like I'm pretty sure I was barely any changes both times. Like if anything. So I just feel like the more, because I've worked with you both, two of the longest running creators I've ever consistently worked with. It's been really cool to see you guys and because of that long running partnership. So I definitely encourage people to form relationships with people that they with fellow, whether it's whatever sort of discipline you're doing, if you have to work with the creative in some shape or form, like if you can form really good relationships and keep them over time, you're just going to do, if you think of, say, I don't know, musicians, I don't know why this one comes to my head, like Snoop and Dre, or like Justin Timberlake with Pharrell and Timbaland. They keep going back to the same people
long-term
for a
partnerships,
reason.
Yeah,
and I find that like that's what we've done, and keeping the circle small has made the quality of the work consistent, but not only consistent, I feel like it's continually getting better because every one of us are constantly improving and growing together, and then we get to know each other better and better, obviously over the years, and you don't even need to think, and you've got this like synergy, like you were saying earlier, Josh, as far as when you work with someone, you just like, it just clicks. I'm like, it was just so easy, and there's like, so I definitely encourage people to do that, because that's why it's sort of people would reach out.
100%.
Wanting to work.
I think that's a huge part of why Drake had as much success as he had.
100%. Him and 40 and his team is keeps the circle small and the close team. Now that's not to say don't try work with more people, but if you got a key group and you can just sort of like dabble, like I think that's cool. But the dabbling is fun because you always need to. You never know. You might vibe with somebody else that can kind of fit in nicely to this nice circle of people. But if you've got these close people, like I can't.
When something works, try and build from it.
Exactly. I think that's the real message we're trying to get to here. So that was super fire from you boys. How you guys all feel about getting into some fucking all this shit ton of music we got?
Fucking sweet, eh?
Already. All right.
There's a bunch we got to skip. Won't lie, mate. Bunch of shit in here, eh?
All right. So what do we start with? Do you want to start for the Notions Gap time or?
You know what? Sure, knock it off. Let's fucking go.
Let's get into it, mate. Do this.
Notion Gap time. Fucking.
So by the way, Terry, you don't all have to. Not everyone has to listen to everything. It's just more like pretty much one of us should have at least listened to everything. If you've heard it, we comment. If you haven't heard it, then it's not a big deal. It's just more that there's so much shit.
Summarize and TLDRs, as the kids tell you, mate.
And we have a rating as well. So every time you got to pick a measuring stick to rate it with. For example, sometimes we like 4 Tim Hortons coffees out of 5 stars, or like a maple syrup jar, or 4 spliffs. I think Notion used last week. So think about it. You have to tell right now. So think something preferably funny, because you can, and then you can change the scenario. So you can be like 4 lukewarm doubles out of 5, whatever.
So it's always out of 5?
Out of 5, whatever the things are, and then you can change the scenarios to represent how you feel about it. Yeah. So like if it's fine, like I'd say like 5 fucking oat milk lattes from my favorite cafe with beautiful latte art and pumpkin spice because it's the season, something like that to like show that means I really bang with it, which is probably what Benny the Butcher's album's going to get this week. So like I'm gonna do third wave coffees actually now. So fuck that. So yeah, think about something as we go. Just want to plant that because Dan always reminds us because we always forget, and that makes it a little bit more fun as we go through the music. So Notions Gap time. Get into it, son.
Gap time. Right. Okay, so I listened to some Hot 97 freestyles. I saw Funk Flex, the old duck, sitting on the corner.
Okay.
I think it's called Block Work.
Okay.
Is the series where he's sitting outside, social distancing, mask on. They've got an outside crew, fucking DJ, sound thing, whatever. So there was 2 that I watched that I hadn't seen before. We haven't talked about it previously. Don't know why. Here we are. Papoose was on it, as you know. He's like,
rappity rap,
super solid, goody rappity rap cypher man. It was cool. But I think being outside and having people around and like outside influences and trucks and helicopters in New York City environment sounds really fucked it up. It was like boring. Papoose was like not on it. Usually when he's in the studio, he's locked in. He's like, he does like alphabet raps. Anyway, it was great.
And he was
this one was boring. I give it 3 out of 5 bags of Skittles, fam.
Bags of Skittles, good one. Good one. All right, next.
I know you may not have seen that, whatevs. The second one, which was newer, there's a rapper named Sosa Geek. He's a young boy.
I've heard of him.
I've never seen
Is he a trap man?
or heard anything about it. Yeah, so...
Oh, so you know he's going to be shit. No, look, some of these dudes are sick, but like, don't make them rap on Funk Flex. There's a very big difference. No, you have to be a lyricist to be on these type of shows. Like, don't be the melodic rapper because you're going to sound like a clown. Like, those type of rappers belong on a beat, and they're sick, and they have their place. Just okay, continue, sorry.
No, sorry. It was just, mate, it was just like, okay. So he's on Flex, he's sitting there, and he's, he looks the part, he's all cool.
Yeah, he looks cool.
And yeah, so he starts talking about Flex is like, yo, so how you get on, son, or whatever the fuck. And so Sosa's like, oh, yeah, no, Drake or whatever was on talking about Instagram, and he's like just trying to act all nonchalant. It sounded like it was a whole scripted thing that he told him to do on the fly, and it sounded like really forced and weird. So he's talking about that, and then he freestyled, and it was absolute trash. I was so bored.
Was it actual freestyle or written?
No, he's spitting
bars.
Yeah, to another beat that didn't seem to fit the best.
Okay.
So I give this one a 1.5. I give it 2 bags of Skittles, and two of your favorite flavors are missing, whatever that happens to be.
I was gonna say the bags of Skittles sound wet.
Yeah.
Wet bags of Skittles.
Or you found them like at the bottom of your backpack.
And when you pick one out, like half the colors like
Yeah.
faded off. It's got water in it.
Oh,
wet
yeah,
up, like
I know the
absolute
ones.
shit bag of Skittles.
Boo.
Social geek, boo. Sorry, dude.
Trash.
Probably a nice
bro.
bloke. Trash raps. My bags.
Boo. Next.
This was the best part of my little discoveries that wasn't like, didn't want to fucking chuck it in the music section
These are
because it was
perfect. I think this should be what your shit is putting stuff like
okay,
this
cool.
in your site.
There's
I
a
love
few.
it.
All right, cool. I'll add more to this next time. There are a few that are in the thing that I added that should have been here. Whatevs. Cook and Soul, producer from Cali, I believe. Usually primarily a soul sample producer. He's fucking awesome, eclectic on some like grammatic shit. He's really cool. He's another producer. Anyway, Cook and Soul did a mashup sort of album with Action Bronson. There's a number of producers that do this, like Knowledge and stuff like that. They grab freestyles from people. So Knowledge did one with Meek Mill, I believe, a bunch of months ago, episodes ago. We talked about that. So Cook and Souls grabs a bunch of Action Bronson freestyle.
I remember now.
And put them over beats, right?
Yes.
And then
This video is interesting.
The video is funny.
The video is
one of
sick.
Action Bronson's previous videos that we talked about in a couple of episodes ago, where he's done the face
bodybuilder
swap thing, and
no, the strongmen. It was with the strongmen.
Strongmen, yeah, from the 90s footage. So they've done a little mashup together. So Cook and Soul beats, Action Bronson raps, face swap stuff, bunch of freestyles over Cook and Soul beats, and random footage. Fucking awesome.
All right.
I'll give that
What do you give it?
4.5 bags of Skittles. You spilled a couple because nothing's perfect.
All right. I like that. Well, that was Notion's Gab Time this week. Make some noise. Now it is time for Dan's UK Corner. In it. Hey, wait, party noise.
In it.
I'm actually really curious to this one.
I know, no, do you know what I'm going to give it? We got the Glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel.
Dan's UK Corner. In it. No, it's like that. Yeah, you hear it on the other thing. All right, Dan.
A rapper, Ivorian Doll. She was on one of the songs.
I remember her from last week on the Posse Cut.
Yeah. And she released a Daily Duppy, obviously the freestyle sort of thing.
On the GRM. Whatever
Yeah, and it was actually quite hard. Like, I don't
she
really
goes
fuck with her music, but then this was actually...
hard.
It was
Yeah,
actually
she's kind of hot
like,
too, right? From memory.
She's let me
Not
just let me have a look. You know, she's
Oh, man.
she's a bit alright. She's a bit hood.
Yeah, she's hood because she's got like green hair, but she's pretty.
Yeah.
She's no like Amani Caesar, but she's alright.
Yeah, she's not
Yeah.
nowhere near. But
What's your name?
Ivorian Doll.
Yeah, if you check the text that I sent you, it's at the bottom. So you can actually hit the link there.
But yeah, when I first heard it, I was just like, oh, I don't want to actually hear her rap and all that. But then it was like, when she got into it and the flow was like actually hard, I was like, oh shit, she's actually
That's
right.
a cool video with all the moving shit. That's
Yeah,
coming in
this
and stuff.
Jerome Daly do this Daily Duck and it's got all of that. When you hear like punchlines, they
They
come
put
up
all the
with
shit.
It's pretty
It's
sick.
actually fucking cool. That'd be a lot of work, but it's dope.
Yeah, but yeah, this one I'll give her 4 full bowls of poutine. You know?
Like a bowl.
Like
okay.
a bowl, like a.
But is it like?
Canadian now.
I know, right? Is it customized with like all the different
It's
stuff?
got your own whatever cheese curds you prefer. And
Okay.
warmest gravy.
Bit
you
of
can
like,
have.
yeah.
A
You
warm
can have
gravy.
different
But you can
kinds
also
of cheese curds.
Huh?
I've only ever had one kind of cheese curds on poutine.
Well, I think because Dan's only had 1 or 2 poutines,
Yeah.
but I haven't taken you to Poutine yet because that shit where you can customize it. So you can add. There's like a list. You can add hot dog little slices and
What?
beef, smoked meat, bacon, ham, any vegetable you can think of. Different
What?
types of gravy.
I have
So
no
you can
clue
get
what's
creative. So
interesting.
basically, think of anything that you like and
Chuck
going
it
forward
on.
and chuck it on.
We're doing
Which is bad. Next.
Beauty.
Next.
A rapper called C Biz. He has been in UK scene for a while. He's like a proper rapper, rap sort of rapper. He's quite good. He released a song called Obsession, which was really interesting, very unlike him, because he's like really hood, flashy, guns, chains and shit, but it's like it's kind of like deep. No, he's not true. It's more grime. Oh no, it's more like UK rap. He's not drill.
Deep is.
But it's more of a deep sort of a meaningful song, which is quite different from him. But it was good. It was good. Not really much to say on this one. It's like, it's just a very different sort of vibe to his usual music. Okay. But
beats fire.
Yeah, the beat's hard. But this one I'll give a
Wellard.
And I'll give him 3.5 bowls of poutine. Yeah. With
I'll second that. Skittles.
Oh, Skittles. With Skittles on top.
Oh,
on top.
Poutine and
Skittles on top.
That's a joint review.
I like that because that's interesting.
That's a little
all right. Well done, boys. That's beautiful.
Skittles on top.
Next,
a rapper called Notes released a song called One More Time. I believe it's with AJ Tracy. I listened to it today. The video is pretty cool, but the actual song itself is very. If you're in UK, you'd know that Notes and AJ Tracy are just very commercial. And it's just like anything with AJ Tracy is commercial, but anything with AJ Tracy and Notes is like you're just gonna hear that on the radio tomorrow. Okay. So it's not like a banger. Notes is really good as a feature. It's kind of like how Ty Dolla $ign is sick as a feature, but you wouldn't listen to his own sort of project.
Yeah.
It's the same with Notes. Like Notes is a sick feature, but when it's his own song, it's kind of meh.
I know exactly who you talk about. It's ludicrous. It's like
it's them sort of rappers. But,
a little bit. I get it.
I'll give it a 2.5 bowls of poutine.
I just watched the video, skimmed through it. Looks pretty cheeseball ting. Like they mad cheese into the video. Yeah. It's got a cornball slant to it.
That's probably good. Maybe there's too much cheese in the poutine.
Yeah, it's
too much cheese.
Too much cheese.
Didn't melt.
Yeah, that's the one.
The ones that you get from the random chicken shops.
The night of, or bad shit the next day.
Oh yeah, you know the ones. You know the fucking
AGB.
vibes.
No, AGP is after grog poutine instead of after grog bog. Australian reference.
Well, after poutine bog.
After poutine bog. APB?
Yeah.
Flipping hell, you guys are so smart.
Getting deep with it. Getting deep, boys. Getting deep. Love it. Next.
Next. A rapper called M. Huncho released a song with a rapper called Nath Smalls.
Yeah, that's familiar. I feel like we talked about it one more time.
I think Nath Smalls. I don't think he's from England. Let me check.
I don't know. Sean gave me these ones that are in here. So you didn't put it in here. I did.
Yeah,
I added one extra one tonight, so I don't even know if you got to it. The very last one.
Is it? Oh shit! No, I didn't see this one.
Yeah,
I actually want to listen to that. Actually, it looks interesting. Jamie's sick. So.
The name Nath Small sounds familiar. I feel like he might.
He's been on a song with Skepta. He's been on a song with D Block Europe. Like he's pretty big. Like.
Mans is out here.
But this song is okay. Like I'm not a big fan of M. Hunter's music. He's like a singer sort of rapper. That sort of. So this is Nath Smalls.
Oh, that's a dude. I wasn't sure.
This is M. Hunter. He's never taken off his mask before.
Oh, he's one of those dudes.
But he's like really weird because he's said the N-word in his music videos before, but then people don't know if he's actually black. Because we've seen pictures on Twitter where people like zoom into his hands and shit.
To try and see.
And he's like tan sort of colour. Everyone's like, well, you don't look black. So,
so how are you saying
So how are you saying it? But, he's not cancelled yet, so...
Okay, so as soon as he takes it off...
As soon as he takes it off and you found out, he's like, I don't know.
His name's Steve. And Italian or
Flipping Steve.
I know. But, I'm not a big fan of M. Hunter's singing sort of rap. And Nath Smalls is a sort of similar rap where he just sings on it. So, I'll give that 2 bowls of poutine. That's from the night before. Cold. You didn't even reheat it. Wow. You didn't even bother. You're just so hungry, you're like, fuck it.
Like, whatever. You know it's trash.
You know it's dead anyway.
Microwave.
It's not going to save it.
I like it. Next,
rapper called Blueface. Well, obviously Blueface. Blueface released a song with J1, which is really weird because J1's not even a big rapper in the UK.
So what they did is they paid for the feature.
They must have.
They put the money up and they were like, all right, let's get a guy who had one fucking song 2 years ago, and that just keeps coming up.
Ride the coattails, innit?
Yeah, and look, I'm not against that. I just find that I don't like Blueface can't rap.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
He's not a sick rapper.
Doesn't look like a good solid move.
No, like I feel like it's like too. I mean, there's not. You can't always get the dudes when they're hot because not everyone has whatever 50, 100 grand for the feature, right?
He's not hot at all, Blueface anymore. He's just
he's around.
He's just there. He's in the famous realm now. He's just
he's just
doing
around.
Anything.
So like they'll make their money back probably in YouTube and Spotify plays just from getting him on the track. I'm sure.
But the song itself, I believe the Plug is a producer and he's pretty famous in the UK. But the song was trash. It's terrible. J1 is one of the worst. He's got to be probably the worst UK artist right now. He is terrible.
Savage.
Like honestly, like I would never ever want to listen to his music again. He's
Shocking.
terrible. I remember there was this YouTube video where like a bunch of UK like YouTubers reviews like music. Somebody like threw their headphones off as soon as J1 came on. Like it was terrible, terrible. But this one, I'll give them one bowl of poutine. One, which was probably found on the street. You saw a homeless man eat it. Homeless person ate from that, but you were just so hungry, you thought, you know what?
Take it out of the bin almost.
Like, just like, you know what, I needed it. But
all right,
no one needs this song.
No one needs it. It's done. Cancel.
Terrible.
Okay, I love it. Next,
Digga D released a song called Chingy, which was
was weird.
Yeah, it's not what Digga D sort of does. It's very... Because you've listened to some of his songs before. It's like proper grimy, proper drill, like goes in on the beat. And it's like... It sounds very different. It's not the sort of song that he'd usually make.
Okay.
The video, this is the first time I've seen it actually. It's, you know, him partying, you know, it's nothing that...
In COVID,
you know.
Every time I see a video with like 30, 40, 50 people, I'm like, you guys are fucked.
They don't care. They don't care. No masks, no nothing.
No.
But the song's not the best at all. Not really much to say about that one. That one,
really.
You know, I'll have to get two bowls poutine.
2 bowls, standard.
It's just standard, you know, you got it from the local chicken shop. Not really that good at all, if you microwave it.
Even if you microwave it.
Not that good.
Sean just said Blueface kind of fits the UK flow in some ways, but still was dookie sauce. It was actually the most on beat I've ever heard Blueface, though, to be fair.
That is very true. I've actually, I just realised that.
Yeah.
He was actually on beat.
Yeah, man, I can't handle listening because just no.
Fucking talent.
Fuck it. All right, next.
A rapper called Tanner released a song called Arch It. I've never heard of Tanner. The video's interesting. I'm literally just watching it now. But the song was just quite annoying.
Yeah.
It wasn't
sick.
Like it was just very annoying.
Grabbing a beer still.
It's just like I just wanted to turn it off as soon as it was on. Sort of thing. It's not as bad as the J1 thing, but it's not getting above a 2. So I'll probably give it 1.5 bowls, you know. That one, probably not from a homeless man, but he found it on the street and you just don't know what happened to it. And you're just looking around, no one saw you, so you just ate it.
Like, just now.
You know, you just thought, fucking, let me just eat it. But yeah, that was
not a good week for the UK.
It's honestly pretty weak, especially in comparison to last week where it was...
Yeah, last week was killer.
Sick. But,
okay. Next.
I didn't actually listen to this song.
So I guess we could... we only just put it there. He sent it to me like 2 hours ago, like just before.
Oh, okay. So I didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know who Yizzy is, but Jamie, one of my favourite UK artists. Skepta's little brother. But I don't know. I'm going to assume it's going to be hard.
Brother.
I'm going to assume it's going to be good.
Okay. So we can check for that. So, boom. All right. That was Dan's UK corner in it.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Now it's just on to the regular ass music.
Let's steamroll this hoe.
All right. Let's fucking go. So, the first one was the home girl. The Cash Me Outside girl, Bad Baby, is back with a new song called
Next.
I was gonna say, you're calling her a homegirl?
No, I'm being way too nice. Should I even bother or not? It was.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't listen to it.
It was
I didn't
whack
mean to be rude. I was just trying to.
It was like she just fascinates me because I just cannot believe that she has a career. And I forgot that sampled.
Yeah, those ones perplex.
Yeah, it's very strange. And she sampled something like the song samples. I forgot what it was. Something other. Oh, that Come On Ride the Train from like the 90s or whatever.
You can ride it.
Yeah, that one. And it's like, hey, I don't know. If you like her, you're probably 13, 14, so I guess you wouldn't be watching this.
Yeah.
So, all right.
One soggy slice of
money
pizza.
from your
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
No,
I'm going to give that, like, because I'm doing mine out of third wave cups of coffee. I'm going to give that, like, one, like, drip coffee that, like, is cold and it's the last one at the end of the day.
Oof.
So the coffee, you should like grab a fucking skewer and poke a hole in the bottom of it.
And just let it drip out, so then by the time you sip it, where's it go?
Yeah, that's what you should do. So
I like
mine's fucking, so like give it one bag of Skittles and you slash the bottom and like chuck it at her, like pick up the bottom.
You're fucking see.
Sorry.
No, you're
yeah,
right.
I'm such a cunt.
That's all right. That's all right.
Womp, 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 womp. Right?
Next.
Next.
Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist dropped a video for Babies and Fools with Conway. Did I see this?
Fire.
I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, it's always fire.
The song was cinematic. Alchemist, boom, you know, good. If you didn't watch the video, you know, cinematic, regular shit they do. And the video was just like them in a strip club, like, and just doing some stunting. Didn't fit at all.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't even
A little bit, lyrics crossed over, but otherwise it was just like,
Yeah.
Song was fire, video, okay, standard, but I like the song better than the video.
Yeah, same. I might give it four nice oat milk lattes with nicely tidy latte art.
Nice tidy.
That's cool. I agree. Yeah, give it 4 bags of skits. Fucking all even
distribution
of the colors. Distribution. Yeah. Make sure man's got an even thing. So
like that.
I know there's 5, and so there's some half pieces in there.
Okay.
I
like that. I like it.
All
right. Did anyone else hear it?
I listened to it. Yeah.
No, you heard
I listened to it. It was good. It wasn't anything too crazy. Like
No.
I actually listened to most of the project that they're releasing. The Very Good Alchemist.
The stuff from Alfredo, isn't it? Or is it a new one? I thought it was
no,
old.
I think it's a new
I thought it was from the old song, but it's a new
I think it's actually
video.
a new project.
They're just continuing.
Actually, no, it's a new video.
Stuff Alfredo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd give that 3.5 bowls of poutine, just standard. Get off
Not
Uber
bad,
Eats.
not
You
bad,
don't
not bad,
think it's
not bad,
bad, don't think it's
not bad.
good. It's just, you get what you order.
All right, I like that. I think we're on the same page. Next, Benny the Butcher dropped I believe the first video from his album that we're going to get to shortly, called Legend. So he did a whole album with Hit Boy, which is my album
Super
of the
good.
week.
So good.
This video was sick.
True.
It was cool. I like it. It's very, very confident, saying he's a legend now.
Yes.
Which is arguable. I don't think someone tweeted, I think it was yesterday or the day before, like who had the best run this year, and I would say Benny or Conway, and if I had to choose, I would say Benny because of the extraordinary amount of very solid features. The song is solid. The video was cool. Nothing crazy. I felt like it got a bit boring. Like there's only a few scenes they kept going between. But like obviously it's COVID. You can only do so much because it seemed like there's still a lot of mans where they were anyway. But I would give that a solid 4.5 pumpkin spice lattes. They're great ones.
Solid.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that one.
Did you hear that? No, Dan?
Love that shit. Yeah, man. Fucking 4.5 bags of skits.
All right.
With a couple of extras in there. Like a couple of extra,
Extras.
the more than the regular amount. Like, when like the machine fucks up, and
Yeah.
you get a little extra sprinkle. Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, I know the fucking vibes. I know the
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Unless you worked at the factory, I don't know. I'm just fantasizing.
Nah, I'll give that 4 bowls of poutine.
4?
Extra hot gravy on a cold day.
Oh, that's
You
good.
know,
One.
it's
Yeah,
nice.
steam it.
Steaming hot. But yeah, it's good, solid.
Extra hot gravy on a cold day.
Yes.
Solid.
that.
Yeah, I got the feels on that one. That was a good review, dude.
Yeah.
Solid.
All
Liked
right.
it. Thank
I
you.
like that. Is that Masorum you reckon?
It fucking is, dude. Look,
Nice.
check it.
Nice.
Yep.
These ones,
Yeah,
because
right
you
in
don't
there.
have to really take
Ooh.
the photo because I paid for it, so don't worry so much. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to.
No, I got
Oh, you got?
Right.
All right. I like it.
got clicks.
Okay.
Got
All right.
good ideas for it anyway. Trust
All
me.
right. I respect and admire that.
Got artwork and things in the back. Don't worry.
You're
Gotcha.
a fucking mad dog. All right, boom. Next. There's actually
Next.
2 Benny videos that were put here, but neither of them worked, and it doesn't really matter because I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
was running into that issue.
Yeah, so like I don't know.
I couldn't even find them after.
Yeah, I think they got taken down. I think
They did get
someone.
taken.
Yeah, I think someone put them up first, and then they got taken down. But they're not singles anyway. They're on the album, so we'll get to that. One of my favorite UK artists, Santino Lasaint, dropped a deluxe version of his EP called Blue Pill. I'm really happy because we're doing a deluxe version of my EP that drops next month, and I think it's hilarious because no one else had done it before, and I tweeted about it. People were like, so what? What's a deluxe EP? Like an album? I'm like, yeah, I guess so, but fuck you, it's a deluxe EP. This is dope.
Hey, marketing, bitch.
Exactly.
Learn about it.
Say what you
It's in
want.
the bookhouse.
Exactly. So this was great. This was solid. I guess it was only like a 4-track, and he made it like 7. The new songs are great. He got some other big features. I didn't know who the artists were, but they all had like hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of spins on Spotify. But I enjoyed it. Smooth. It's very much for like I feel like it's all just like not fuckboy music, but like it's always sort of dark, a little bit depressed, and a little bit like all those like girl songs that she did this and blah 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 like type of thing is always those little like stories and shit that typically only fuckboys would get into. So I would give that. I love this guy. I would give it 5 perfectly temperature 3rd wave pumpkin spice lattes with maybe like pumpkin
5
latte
pumpkins?
art.
You want to switch it up with like different ones?
Well, that's like it's fall, so I'm just kind of rocking that. And
Fair enough.
if you go to a 3rd wave cafe, you can't really get much else. you get like a plain one, and if only some of them do it. So I'm trying to be authentic to the game, but I respect what you're saying.
Word up. I'd give it that fucking 4 bags of skits, right?
Ooh. What about like the ones with the sprinkles
consistency, but only based. I'd go for up close to 5.
Okay.
Like a split, like a split bag of the 5th one. A couple spilled out, but only because the repetitive themes in the R&B, sort of like in the writing and stuff. That's the only thing that doesn't it doesn't give me a massive stiffy, that stuff, because we've heard it. We're old, but not, not fucking. I just want to get surprised a little more, a little repetitive. Otherwise, absolute fire. Beats crazy. Everything else is crazy.
That's a really good point.
Little repetitive.
I think that's true. With his music, it really is. That's a great point. Dan, did you hear this one?
Yeah, I listened to it. Oh, sick. Like there was a song called it was labeled like a freestyle.
Yep.
At the end, such a good song. I think this whole album's the EP is sick. I'd give it 4.5 bowls of poutine, some chili flakes on it.
Yeah.
Couple chili flakes, bit more garlic on it. Fully perfectly melted cheese.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know that
cheese
one.
I
know. I think we have to get some.
Yeah,
of
like
that.
shit. Man's about to get on Uber Eats right now. You know
yeah, I'm gonna fucking jump on. We should get sponsored by Skip the Dish, eh?
That'd be so much easier. Give us food. So sitting there just munching out. Terry, did you hear this one?
No, I did not.
Okay, no problems. Next, now we're kind of getting more into the singles. Someone by the name of Reggie Snow did a track with the Queen, Snow Allegra, and someone called Cam Obi called Mirrors.
I have tickets to see Snow Allegra.
Cool.
Yeah, Snow's
fire.
The god. I love her. She's
held that track down mostly.
Yeah, she did. Anything she's on, she dominates. Nobody can touch her.
I was supposed to see her in April.
All gone, huh? All gone.
All gone. No shows. Stay at home fucking.
Just shut up and...
We should have just holograms in our houses now.
Man, we should Star Wars that shit. Yeah, this is a great song. I don't really know much about the other artists, but it was cool. I give it a solid 4 four coffees.
4 bags.
Yeah. 4 bags. Dan, did you get one?
Yeah, I just listened to it again just to make sure I remember it. But yeah, it was good. Cool. Solid 3.5,
Yeah.
Nothing too special in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, just typical old Putin.
Yeah.
Something you'd imagine in your head if you think of just a normal Putin.
Just standard. Right in the middle, but does the trick.
Okay. Little. I like it. No sauce. Terry, did you hear that one?
Big gravy.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I'd give it 4 nicely toasted slices of pizza.
Ooh, okay.
Well done.
Thin crust.
Yeah. The ones where you don't microwave it, you put it in the toaster oven so the cheese gets bubbly again.
Ooh,
bubbly again. Double bubble cheese.
Yeah, so I know the fucking vibes. I know
if you can have a cheese thing.
Ooh, pizza slices are a good one. It's a good one. All right, boom. Next. If y'all are ready for the God, we're bringing it back. You know what?
Shit.
Now this means that there's an album coming. The fucking God, Stratford, Ontario, the King of Canada, Justin motherfucking Bieber. He came back with a new single called Lonely with a bloke called Benny Blanco, who I'm not particularly familiar with. This was a cool song because it was kind of a bit of a poor me being famous, but it was like, I feel like he was being honest because it wasn't superbly well written. It was a little like cheese in the way that he was expressing it, but the actual emotions behind what he was saying were real. And if that's how we felt as a kid, like being the only one in a dressing room by yourself, or like all these adults around, you don't have any mates because you haven't never done anything because you've been famous since you were 10 and shit, like it must be as cool as it is to have everything you're on stage and then you're just back by yourself in this hotel room, or you with your mum or something. Like it must be weird. So I thought it was interesting to hear it from him who'd been through a bunch of shit. I'd give it 7 out of 5.
7 out of 5.
Like just the most fire lattes you could ever drink.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Rating, fam. Like, is that the best rating you've given anything on the show, fam?
It is actually, but like I'm gonna have to start giving more out.
Do you remember when?
But now we have to keep record of this. Dan, keep record.
Yeah.
C's going 7 out of 5
for the Beebs.
Remember, on the Beebs.
On the Beebs. What are you saying, Terry?
Capital B.
I was just gonna say, remember when he was performing at the MMVAs in Queen Street,
and we ran up to it? Yeah, it was pretty lit. We got to see him just a touch. Do you know what's funny, Terry?
Did you give him a shout?
We were a little far away, I guess, but we were pretty excited to see him. And then on September 14th, which was my 10-year anniversary in Canada, we had tickets to see him in Montreal. Like, obviously, it didn't happen. I was so excited. So, like, what a perfect way to see in 10 years was to go and see him at the Bell Center.
I honestly never knew if your Justin Bieber fanatic was real or not.
Oh, I thought it was a joke for years, dude.
Yeah.
I only just realized it wasn't a joke right now.
Oh, right. Okay.
I reckon
he
just
money on
came around.
Yeah,
dude. You know what?
Yeah, bro. Not a joke. And they were like $150 a pop. And we both, Tiff and I and Rich got it. All three of us got it. Another interesting thing, I said years ago, and I shared it again on Facebook the other day, that Bieber is going to make a justified, like Justin Timberlake justified quality album soon. And this one might be the one. I don't know. So far, because he performed both songs on Saturday Night Live, and we have a VPN, so I just watched the thing. And it was fucking sick. Aside from Chance the Rapper, she needs to fuck off wholly. But like that song, even though it's about Jesus, and I hate that shit. The vibe, it's so sick. He killed it. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, this might be the one. Like I'm not confident, but I'm optimistic. So anyway, continue. Anyone else hear the song?
I just want to know why. Yeah. Like, how did this happen?
It started off as a joke because in Australia, I had all this crazy shit on my door. I had a Bieber poster, I had a Twilight poster, all the things I hated, like I put it on my door, like just not even hate, just like dumb shit because it's funny because it's so stupid. A grown man listening to Bieber when he was a kid. It was like 10, 11 years ago when he was a child, and then I used to make fun of religion a lot, so I'd always sing Jesus songs. And Notion got furious. Notion hated it whenever I was singing Jesus songs. I thought
you were just rubbing one out to the door, the pictures on the door, mate.
I mean, look, here and there, it's okay. But then, like, it got to be a joke, and then for my 30th birthday, I think Notion and Scott and everyone, they gave me, like, all these Bieber stuff. Like, I have this board game and, like, all this crazy shit. You bought it. You spent money on Bieber, bro. I didn't. And then
it's a joint effort, mate.
That's right.
Joint effort.
But then over time, I started just like the joke typically becomes real for me. So I was joking about it so much that like his music got progressively better. So it started getting real. We went to Niagara with Rob from Apple, and that time I made them play in the car the Believe album when that came out, and I actually banged with it. There's one with Right Here with Drake on there, which is a great song. And, like, there's a bunch of really good songs on that album, so, like, I kept listening to it, like, unironically. At first, it was to annoy people and be funny, and then it just got serious after that. So,
Interesting.
Here we are.
Crazy, dude. Fucking hell.
So I hope you get to meet him one day.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate the positivity, unlike Notion not giving me any Bieber positive energy.
You and me, babes.
I just want to witness
fucking
that.
Down.
Oh, I'm going to doubt, bro. It's going to be beautiful for both of us. I imagine everybody is giving this 7. Should we just move on because everyone's giving it 7 out of 5?
I believe we're all giving it 7.
Dan's giving it
7.
Just for you, dude. All right, let's
2
go.
slices of pizza. One of them are soggy, but one of them is well prepared. Only because I feel like
that's the one that Bieber eats, and then he doesn't have any more.
I just feel like he's being honest, and that was kind of cool to see. I was just like, oh, look at it, look at the cunt talking about how.
Look at this cunt. Look at this cunt. Yeah, nice one, Terry.
I feel like they could have done a better job
selling
the young Bieber though. Like,
yeah, that was a terrible casting. Eh?
Fucking hell.
There's going to be so many young Biebers. That was bad casting, but I think that might have been restricted because of COVID. Give him that. Boom, I love it. Shouts to Bieber. Next.
Fucking next.
Russ, new single called Sorry. Did anyone hear it?
Yo, it did, man. Sorry to hear it. Yo, it was boring as shit. It was the same. It was the most recycled shit from Russ I heard, fam.
That was good.
I'm honestly legit. That's all I got to say. 1 bag of Skittles, peace.
1 bag. Josh, Terry, did you hear it?
I only got like 20 seconds in. Like
You're like
not impressed.
Okay.
What is he? What are you apologizing for?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great question. I'm just gonna give it two coffees as well, standard. Just
catch.
All right, fuck it. Next, Mary J. Blige did a song called "See What You've Done." I think it was from a soundtrack.
Yeah, weird, interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't like a slap.
No, also she sounded different. The engineering of it was different. She sounded like she had a blanket over her fucking voice. When they mix stuff for movies, it's a lot different and a lot. It sounds like skewed differently because, like, dynamically, when you're in a theater or in a car, like, things are different. And anyway, it was like off-putting as fuck to listen to. It was not fundamental Mary. It was not Guru or any other fucking sick cunt mixing her shit. So that was whack as shit to me. It was distracting, and I give it a fucking 2 eyes.
Okay, I respect it. Anyone else hear it?
I didn't hear.
No, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I heard it, but I didn't investigate it as deep as Nosh did. So I'll probably give it just 3 because Mary's the queen. 3 just solid copies. I can't really.
Yeah, she's the queen, but like somebody fucked up, man.
Yeah,
she did a good job.
They gotta do her right.
Yeah,
Next, Lou Phelps is Kate Renata's brother, and Keisha did a single called Nike Shoebox.
Going on? That was cool.
Yeah, so I like his voice. I never really loved his raps.
Either.
We actually did a show. I put him on a show like in 2013 when they were all coming up. So
the steps peak.
Yes, it was actually for Abstract Art Form on the first show of that before we went out to Winnipeg. So I'd been following.
I was on
him
the crutches. Sorry, I had a cane wrapped with a cane.
Oh, that was the show, and you were jumping. That was a good show.
I was jumping on one leg.
Yes, you were.
Anyway, that was fun.
Cameron Jacobs, is that like Cam who used to work at Lost Craft Cam? He said swear more. Shouts to Cam. We'll swear more, mate. Don't you worry.
Fucking Cam, you can't. Where's he at?
Oh, there you go, you fucking mad dog, Cam.
You slutty cunt.
Sending you a heart, Cam, you beautiful man. Yep. Good to hear from you, bro.
Big slutty hearts to Cam. Get that dog up here, mate. He's got a little dog now. You can actually fucking shove it up him.
Oh, mate, get it right up here. Fucking get it done. But yeah, no, it was a cool song, man. I like this one. Any K-Trader Productions always fire. This was cool. It was boppy. It was a bop. Like, Lou sounded good on it. Yeah, I give it a solid 4 Red Milk Lattes.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I listened to it as well. It was decent. Yeah. It wasn't like K-Trader's best thing. It wasn't. The rap was decent though. It was just decent.
Yeah,
you know.
Maybe I'll give it 3 actually when you mentioned.
Yeah, I'll probably just give it like 3.
Look at backtracking.
Backtracking. Wow. But I'll probably give it like 3 balls.
PSLs.
Okay.
3 PS. No,
I didn't say PSL.
Yes, I'll give it 3.
You give it 3?
I'll give it 3 slices of pizza. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone's about 3. Everyone's going 3s. All right. Yeah. Boom. I like it. We're on the same page. Next.
I didn't vote.
Sorry, Nish?
I didn't get to vote, mate.
Oh, you didn't get to vote? I thought you did. Sorry, dude.
I'll chuck the 3 bags. Just get.
There you go. Make it easy. Just make it easy. Look at that.
Okay, go.
Sheep mentality. Next.
I'm just a cunt.
Nah, you're a good bloke. G-Eazy and Black Bear did a single called Hate the Way. I listened to it, but I don't really remember. I'm not going to lie.
Didn't hear that one.
I listened to it and I didn't really like it.
No?
I thought it was pretty trash.
Yeah, pretty trash?
Yeah, it's like, it just got annoying. Like, I'm not really a big fan of G-Eazy. And it's just like...
Oh, Gerald?
Gerald. He's the one that had a video with Megan Thee Stallion, right? Was that G-Eazy?
Yeah, and they thought they were like...
Every time I think of G-Eazy, I think of that video, and I think this guy's a weirdo.
Yeah.
I just don't really fuck with this guy. I don't know.
He had some slappers a few years ago. That's the only reason
I know he's been around for long.
Yeah,
but,
he's been around for a while.
That I want to give 2 cold bowls of poutine.
Jeez, savage.
Cold. Nothing special about it.
All right. Anyone else bump that?
No,
yeah, it was kind of shit. Two dry, fucking open bags of Skittles.
All right.
And they're like mad chewy, and you break your teeth on one of them. Shit.
Just shit. Yeah, I guess I'll give it 2.
Shite.
It's I can't even remember. Fuck it. All right, next. Rhapsody and Bilal did a single called "Pray Mama Don't Cry." I think it might have also been from a soundtrack, but yes, Rhapsody is dope. Rhapsody's always dope. Bilal is the god. He's been around forever. Yeah, man. Soulful. Talk about it. It
was fucking just. I mean, that was pretty much it. It was just a nice little
just some real shit. You can't really go wrong with like authentic,
heartfelt.
Music which Rhapsody's doing consistently. Yeah, I give it 4. Anyone else?
4 bags.
I didn't listen to it.
I haven't heard it, but I will listen to it based off of the reviews.
All right, I like that. Cam says Gerald is a Chad. Fair point.
Yep.
Fair point.
Gerald. Apparently he's a Chad.
Yeah.
So what's a Chad?
I guess like a bro, like an American.
Do we know Gerald, man?
Oh, okay.
I love Gerald. Do you fucking know you, Gerald? All right, next. Jacob Banks from the UK did a song called Devil That I Know. I think this was really slow, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Very weird. Skipped it. Not keen.
Not into it.
Wasn't.
I think it was a little strange.
Very sad.
Yeah. I don't really remember it. Anyone else here?
I don't remember either, to be honest.
Terry? Nah. Then, all right, let's not even rate it then, fuck it. But overall, Jacob Banks is sick, and I would highly recommend people to check this shit out.
That song was definitely a miss.
Okay. Next, Leon Bridges and Lucky Day, the guy, did a song called All About You. I think this one was super tight, even though Leon usually on the slower side, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude. Yep. This one okay, so Leon usually dope. This one was the opposite, so it should have been. It was like a co-song. It wasn't like anyone featuring anyone. It was exactly.
Oh,
they
like
fucking
an actual,
wrote it together. They fucking jerked off together. All good times. That one was not my fave. It sounded like as soon as Lucky Day come on, it should have been like a Lucky Day song featuring Leon. If anything, for some reason it just didn't slap as hard. As soon as Lucky Day come on, then the song hit hard. When he stopped, it just didn't work.
Okay.
It was cool. I like the song. Leon's cool. Not to discredit him. I'm being super cunty on that one.
It's all right. You got to be honest.
But yeah, had a few. Here we go.
What'd you give it?
I like it. 3 point. Like it's so 3 bags of Skittles, broken 3rd bag, couple spilled out. Not gonna write home about it. You still got 2 3/4 bags in it.
All right, I get it. Boom. Anyone else?
Boom.
I didn't catch this one.
No, Terry?
No, I didn't touch this
No?
one.
Okay, no probs. Next, Static Selector did a joint with Joey Badass, Nas, and Gary Clark Jr. called Keep It Moving. I listened to it. I just don't remember it.
I need to see.
Yeah, me too.
I guess that's
nothing
doesn't stand out, right? It's a pretty on paper.
It was okay. It was like a 3 out of 5 bags of skits. It was nothing amazing. I love Gary Clark Jr. by himself. Obviously, the other rappers, respectively, are crazy as fuck. Static's the dope producer, engineer, etc. DJ, fucking mad cunt. Nothing to write home about. Everyone was cool. Nothing amazing. So yeah.
On paper,
Trios.
it seems sick. I remember I definitely queued this on because I really like Joey Badass and I like Nas.
You don't even remember it.
But I don't. Yeah.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know at the same token, this is a lot for all of us to consume. To go through, Terry, as you're seeing with this list, right?
I ran through this whole thing at 3 o'clock today.
Oh, that's good. So yours are always the freshest.
But the thing is,
you're
that
good.
Song, I'm trying to think if I YouTube that right now, I'll fucking hear it. But otherwise, struggle. There's it's like 30 songs to listen to cram.
Cram
for this exam.
It's kind of what it is. But it's like he's got to kind of go through, do what you can, really, right? So, all right, keep it going. Next, Preem, who used to be known as, what was his name? P Rain, did an EP with Popcorn called Link Up. I actually did not get around to this one.
Yeah,
I skimmed through it.
Yeah, what did you think, Terry?
Decent. Nothing sounded like exceptional bangers yet, but that's kind of how I felt with the Popcorn album that he released recently.
Yeah.
I think there were maybe 2 songs that I really fucked with heavy, but nothing too intense.
He's another one which is sick on features, but just his own project isn't the way his thing.
He's one exactly. That's a good point.
I rate him as an artist, but as a feature, he's sick. But I wouldn't really listen to his own stuff. That's a good point. What do you think? What would you give this one, Terry?
I'd give it a 3.
3?
3 slices of pizza.
3
but
fresh.
It's one of those things where the
you know what, pizza fan? Fuck, why?
The cheese is inconsistent.
Right now.
It's not a single layer of cheese. There's some parts where you can see the tomato sauce.
Oh, you don't want that.
You don't want that one.
Nah, that's lazy. Did you hear this?
No, I didn't actually catch it. No.
All right, Terry's in charge of that one. Love it. Next, James Blake dropped an EP called Before. I was actually listening to that right before we went live. It's like EDM shit. I didn't fuck with it, man.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was dancey. It was not what you'd expect for James. Nah, not at all.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I don't know why.
It doesn't always strike me as fun. I always you've always recommended. Sorry, not fun.
No, he's not fun. It's depressing as shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're right.
I'm saying you've always been yo, no, check this cunt. I'm yeah, nah, and then it's always 2 out of 5.
Yo, he's got some slappers though, man. He really does, and this was not it. Not it. I give it.
I really like.
Cool. I'm so glad I didn't check.
Retrograde. Remember that joint? Retrograde back in the day. He had life
life
round here.
Music video with Chance.
Life round here.
Yeah,
and that was. I hate Chance verse on that, but that shit was fucking.
You really don't like Chance.
I fucking hate Chance.
Relax. He's a good bloke,
I'm sure he's
backwards with him in it. Just relax.
Nah. He's fucking alright, but his
fucking
music.
alright.
Fuck off, Cam says, get a side of wings, no doggy.
Yeah, I fucking will, dickhead.
You fucking should.
Because I'm ordering fucking puts.
There you go.
Just come over for some wings, dickhead.
Yeah, fucking. Did anyone else listen to this EP or no? Terry, no.
I purposely did not. So.
Fair enough. I like your attitude. This is how you.
Sorry, just to be honest.
No, man. To be honest, it's okay. That's the whole point. That's what I was telling Terry. Like, just pick what you like.
If it's an EP, have a time, cool. James Blake, yeah, nah.
Yeah, no, I understood and respect it. Next, Stevie Wonder did a song with Rhapsody, Chica, Busta Rhymes, and Cordae called "Can't Put It in the Hands of Fate." I think also it might be from a film or something like that.
I think it is from
It's like a Heal the World moment.
Yeah,
it sounds like it would be.
It actually, once again, I don't remember. I listened to the singles typically on Friday, so by now I've forgotten it. But I remember it being pretty cool. Like, with that many people, it could have gone horribly wrong, but I think it was pretty cool.
It was like 3 out of 5 cringe.
3 out of 5 cringe. Oh.
3 out of 5 cringe, like, you know.
Oh, 3 out of 5 cringes? As opposed to Skittles bags?
Just cringe. That's a fuck Skittles, mate. It was cringy. It's like Heal the World. It seemed mad forced. Busta's rhymes were like corn.
Oh, okay.
Ball.
Okay, I need to pay attention then.
It was like, I don't know, dude. Wasn't keen.
Okay. Anyone else here?
No, I remember queuing it because of the artists really interested me, but then I just didn't get around to listening to it.
Didn't work? Yeah. All right, so I'll retract my judgment then because Nosh probably makes a good point. Cam says this is the best podcast ever. I love it. Thank you, Cam.
Cam's a mad cunt.
We say the C word a lot.
Definitely can't.
Next, Ty Dolla $ign and Janae Aiko and DJ Mustard did a song called "By Yourself." Did anyone peep that?
Yeah. It was.
I did.
It was alright. It was decent. Yeah. Like, it was typical what you'd think Ty Dolla $ign would make.
Right. I think it's off the new one.
Just love music, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just
love.
It's solid R&B.
Stuck to it.
Yeah.
Yes, you'd pull out great just in time.
You make like the slow fuck and then like work up to it, but like
you know,
maybe like 10 seconds of eye contact.
Ooh,
just, you know, that's it.
And then you pull out.
It was alright.
Isn't an album called featuring Ty Dolla $ign?
Yeah, it's a genius name. It's comes out this Friday.
Oh
yeah,
God.
There's a bunch of good albums coming out this Friday. I forgot what it was. I heard Adele's album is dropping next month too. Apparently Adele and Drake are dropping in November. Just a quick side there, which is concerning for me because if any of them drop,
Adele and Drake separate, right?
Separate albums, yeah. No, because Adele's smashing.
What?
Yeah, Adele's smashing Skepta. I thought.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm concerned because if any of those drop on my release date, then no one's gonna care. It's gonna be problematic. It's always the fucking way. You can't. It doesn't matter any week you drop. It's gonna be too much stuff. All right. Anyway, Ty, did anyone want to give it a rating? Ty Dolla $ign? No, should you talk about Ty Dolla $ign yet?
Yo, it was cool, man. It was kind of a sexy tune.
Yep.
Yeah. Sexy is the best word to describe.
Sexy. Anyone have any ratings?
Yeah, I'd give it 4 hot, steamy bowls of gravy that you're eating in a car with a girl.
Oh yeah.
So the windows are all like steamy from the gravy.
Yeah.
The gravy.
Yeah, the gravy. You know what I'm saying? That man gravy. You know, that pork butter. Wow. What'd you give it, Nish?
3.9. So like the third bag, it's just dropped a couple skits at the bottom.
Get it. I get it.
And you pick them up off the carpet. You just eat the Skittles because they're good Skittles.
All right.
Okay. You dropped a couple because just fuck it.
Bit of fluff in the mouth.
Yeah, a bit of fluff, bit of carpet.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Brandy and Ty Dolla $ign did a.
Oh, this is the one I was thinking of. Yes. I fucking got my reviews back. I'm such.
No Tomorrow Part 2. This was off. I think it was like a remix to one of the singles from her last album, B7. This one was cool because it's basically it's like this. I think it's basically the same song. It's just with Ty on it, which is great. This was a cool song. I fuck with Brandy heavy. This is
what I was giving my review to. This is a sexy tune.
Okay.
I fucked up my things. I got it back.
Okay.
So I was looking at my mouse is highlighting the wrong song, mate.
I respect it.
Anyway, yeah, this one was fire.
Yeah.
Brandy was getting her extra shit on. The fucking, I don't know, engineer-wise, got me distracted with all the flanges and phases that she has on her vocals and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was great. You could definitely smash to it. I'd give it a fucking 4 hours, you know?
Yeah, give it a 4 hours.
4 bags. Four full bags from a fresh shelf.
Ooh, I like that. Terry?
I haven't heard it, but I'm always looking for songs to smash to, so I'm going to
listen to it. Add it to the playlist.
Fuck to it, Terry. Don't worry about it, mate.
No, I didn't actually catch it. I didn't even notice it was
it's like a slow thing, and then you can build up. Like, it's not too... You definitely get started to it. Full play song.
All right, next we're in the last stretch. Ill Bill, Conway, The Machine, and Pharoah Monch did a song called "Be Afraid." This was cool. Ill Bill, I haven't heard from him in a hot minute. Always dope to hear Pharaoh again. He's sounding a little different, but like on point still. And Conway knows it as always. I enjoyed it. It's real hip hop at its finest.
Hip hop. I agree,
solid
man.
solid four fucking oat milk lattes.
Decent. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. When I was listening to it, I didn't really like the first verse. I don't know who it was.
Ill Bill.
Yeah,
Ill Bill, yeah.
He's like Necro.
I recognize his voice straight away, actually, even after so long, because he's an older, he's more on the vet side of things.
He is,
and even after so long, after. I mean, fuck, I don't know who mixed this joint, but anyway, when the song came on, like, oh shit, that must be Ill Bill, because I just kind of just recognize it from a long time ago. Yeah, it's just got a nice cadence, man. Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Oh, interesting. Okay. No, I listened to it, and I was so close to skipping, and then I heard Conway go in. I was like, okay, his verse was so good.
He's got some stature on a beat, mate. He rides it nice, boss.
I would give it 4 bowls of poutine with gravy, with a nice chili flakes, bit of sriracha on top, make it a bit spicy on a cold winter's day.
Spicy top.
I like that.
It's beautiful.
Did you give it a rating, Nosh?
No.
You didn't hear Terry? Okay.
I'll chuck a 4 bags, mate.
4 bags? 4 bags?
4 bags,
maybe change up the flavor. Maybe you could go for like those, how to have the berries.
Oh yeah, that's right. They have different ones. I'm so not up on my candy games. Okay, so a bag, 4 bags of fucking sour Skittles. Let's go.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I like that. All right.
You just open my whole.
Hey man, don't worry about it. We've still got probably. It's right.
So late in the piece. Go.
All right, next, Xavier Omar did a song with Mariba called "Like I Feel." It was another song to add to Terry's fucking playlist. Fuck list. The playlist. Yep. Smooth, sensual. Everyone was telling me this Mariba chick is the one.
I jerked off
coming
twice
next.
to it.
Minimum twice.
Give it a 3.5 because of that.
Yeah, because of that. I'm giving it 3.5 as well.
Did you roll it out? 2 times?
Wow, amazing. It was
twinsies.
For me. It was alright. Last week, same Xavier Omar released that other song. So that one there, it set the tone for me. But then this one didn't really reach that benchmark. Yeah, so to me, I was a bit disappointed, but it was like I still give it a solid 3.5 bowls of poutine, from your local poutine shop, wherever you get it from. But no, it was decent. It wasn't as good as last week, which is why I was disappointed.
But it means there's probably an album coming. Cause it's on
week,
right?
Which is good.
Terrence.
Didn't listen, but it's on the list.
It's on the list. You got need it. Your missus gonna be happy. All right, next, Justin Nazuka, Canada. Like he's from Ontario. Did a song with Mahalia called "No One But You." Do you know who knows him? Nosh? Mike, Digital Junkie.
Get the fuck out.
I wanted him to hook me up because we sampled him
Uncle Mickle
on Bad Habit.
Let's go, bud.
This song was called "No One But You." Super smooth. Did not expect him to do a song with someone like Mahalia, which hopefully means he's coming back and doing some shit, man. So fuck.
Yeah, this was a really good song. I like this very much.
Yeah, it's got a wicked voice. It wasn't his typical music,
Super
which is
smooth.
more guitar, folky type of shit. It was more in the R&B vibe, and his voice really suits it. So he should do a full R&B album, hopefully.
True.
I give that 4.
Yeah, I mean, I give it like a 4.2. So like, the fucking get 3 bags of one kind, or 2 bags of one kind, 2 bags of the other, and a little sample bag on stapled to one to say thanks for coming.
I know the vibes.
Sample bag your skills is game changing.
Yeah,
that is a game changer.
Yeah, like next level Skittles that man's ain't getting the access to, like early access to.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Sample bag.
Fuck it. Any of you guys listen?
I didn't catch this one.
No problem. I definitely recommend this for the sex list, Terry. Next, this one was really weird. So Sean Leon is from Toronto, and he did a song called "South of France Freestyle." Yeah, so I thought he was a singer, and this was some trap rap shit. It was very.
Wait, you thought he was a singer?
Yeah, isn't he a singer?
No, he's a rapper.
Oh, then it's probably not
who I. He wrote for Kanye, actually.
Okay, so it's just not what I thought it was. I thought he was a singer, so I didn't like it because I was like, why is a singer?
I didn't like it, even though I knew he was a rapper. Though.
Okay, good. So it was just weird, eh?
Like it was weird. Like I like not. I don't like a lot of his stuff, but there's some stuff that I like that slaps. This one just felt a little different.
Yeah, a bit forced and a bit like.
I don't really like it, to be honest.
Yeah,
it sounds like something you'd hear. The rappers on XXL Freestyle.
Yeah,
it's just one of them ones.
Yeah, it was too generic for someone.
It was weird.
I thought I was a good artist. Yeah.
The last thing I saw from him too was the fact that he had wrote for Kanye, so I was expecting a little bit more.
Okay, what would you guys give it? Oh no, should you hear it?
No, mate.
Not cool. What'd you guys give it?
I'd give it 2 bowls of poutine, but they forgot the actual cheese and gravy.
Oh my god,
So
so
it's
it's chips,
just
just
fucking
fries.
Just fries.
Man's just got fries. Terry?
2 pieces of crust.
Ooh.
No, I can't lie. No, I fucks with crust.
Yeah.
I fucks with crust.
But if it's just the crust?
If it's just
Is
the
it
crust,
like
you
no
know.
dipping sauce crust?
It's
like,
pizza crust.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
cardboard. So cardboard?
Oh.
Seeking.
Oh, wow. I'm going to give this then
That's
to align with
rubber
y'all.
thing.
I'm going to give it a gas station coffee.
Wait, hold on.
So I'm not listening to it. You guys gave me the.
No,
I'm not
don't
listening
listen
to it.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not.
you should.
Peace.
No.
Peace.
Dan said he likes crust. I'm curious what he thinks about stuffed crust from Pizza Hut.
I think stuffed crust isn't that good in comparison to normal deep pan crust. I wouldn't ever buy stuffed
Most
crust.
people don't rate stuffed crust.
I don't really fucks with it that much.
Do you bangs with it then, Terry?
I like it. But I just like anything that has cheese in
Bang, I
it.
suppose?
Can I suggest why I think you like it?
Because it has cheese in it.
No, because you get high lot. And high man's
Because I get high lot.
yeah, and like high man's like really fun shit like that. To me, that's fun.
That makes sense.
And I feel like when you're
It's
high,
rare
like
that
you appreciate that.
my highness determines what I eat.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I do extra shit even without.
Interesting.
Like, I
You
don't
know
think I
what?
was
You
smoking
fucking
weed
do.
when I ate a Cinnabon every day for a whole month.
Yes, I remember that shit. I remember that.
Oh,
I don't know how you're still
Yeah, I
alive.
don't
and you're
think I
still
took any
mad
of those
skinny. Look at you, mate. Hey?
We all
I
need.
started to gain weight.
Are you
The
fat
other day I
like
saw
me?
129
You're
on
a
the
blessed
scale.
man.
It was wild.
You hit
First time I've seen
129.
129 in 7-8 years, I think.
Jeez.
Well,
Well, you know, do you know what it comes with, Terry? Old age, man.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Terry's getting old. Bro, I don't want to tell you how much I weigh now. It's disappointing. I started this workout regime. I stopped eating trash, mate. It's a fucking... The beer
It's a
is
whole
not,
thing.
not doing me any
Fucking hell.
favors, Terry. Not doing me any favors.
Mm.
Let's keep
Quarantine.
it. We're nearly done. It's quarantine too, exactly. Next, Black Thought, Streams of Thought, Volume 3. I just listened to that before this. Fucking fire.
Amazing.
Tell me what you think, guys.
super fire.
I rated
fucking-
it.
Didn't get to it, but I want to.
The production was
Definitely
way
had
better.
so good.
Oh, sorry, wait.
By far, the best Streams of Thought,
Mad fucking
in my opinion, as far as all the different joints. The production was better. Everything about it was...
More cohesive, put together. It
Yes.
was fucking sweet.
It felt like the other Streams of Thought just felt like a stream of thought. This felt like a project.
Mhm.
I really
This
enjoyed
is the most project feeling, album fucking feeling one that there's been.
Yes,
Agreed. I only gave it one spin. I also did it kind of quickly because, you know, there was a bunch of shit. That one I'm going to spin like constantly. So that's fire.
It's hard. Like there's a song with
I'll
Pusha
put
T
one
as
listen.
well.
It was super good.
The song with Pusha T on it.
Yeah,
slaps.
that was the single we reviewed a few weeks ago.
Oh, was that the
because it
single?
had Swiss on it.
With
Remember
Swiss
Lil
as
Bex about
well,
Swiss?
I was like,
yeah.
Still,
And
Swiss ruined it. Swiss is why he only gets 4 and no 5.
Yes, and the song
Wow.
State Prisoner.
Yeah.
If you remember that one, such a good song. And the whole thing had like a good message as well. And,
Yeah.
It's a proper in with the culture, good with the times, like
Social
such a good
justice
song.
a bit.
Social justice, yeah. It's such a good. It's sick.
Yeah.
Sick. What are you giving it?
Pardon?
What are you gonna give it?
I was gonna give it 4, just and the extra half. Or maybe I was gonna do 4.5, but I guess 4 because it's Swiss. 4 but really good pumpkin spice latte.
Really good one.
Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah.
I give it. I'll probably give it 5. You know.
Fuck.
I'll probably give it.
Even with Swiss.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, no, fuck Swiss, but you know, I kind of fucks with
Full
this whole
vibes.
thing. You know, I'll probably give it a 5. Whatever you want on the poutine. If you want cereal, you can have cereal. If you want chocolate on
Cereal.
it, you have it. If you just want gravy, cheese
whatever you
curds,
want.
you know, whatever you want. It's
Okay.
just the perfect bowl of poutine.
I
In your
like
One
it.
of one.
Custom. All right.
custom.
Nosh or Terry, did you? I know Terry, you didn't hear it. Nosh, you have a rating?
No, I didn't hear it.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, mate. Probably just chuck a 4.5, mate. 4.5 bags of skits. Like you spilt a couple because not every song
Because
was
of Swiss.
banging. Was what?
Because of Swiss. He sucks.
Sweet. I mean, look, it's not all the way sucks. Like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I got a
Not all the way sucks. You know, Mantis okay.
Okay. 4.5. All right.
Man, next.
That's right. All right. Sean, sorry, he says, when's the last time you heard anything new from Necro? Hearing Ill Bill's name reminds me of high school. I have not heard anything new from Necro in a very long time, and I guess this is aimed at you, Dan. Did you listen to Chunks and Young Philly's new song called Home?
Yeah, they're 2 like comedians from YouTube, but they just do music on the side, and it's actually quite a good song.
Alright.
They're both like singer sort of rap sort of, but this is like their first like big sort of production song. And it's actually kind of hard. Like
Yeah.
it kind of fucks a bit. It's decent.
I respect it. Boom. All right, let's keep it moving. Nearly there. Next, Jay Prince from who we know from Soul Lection did an EP called Soul SOL Volume 1. Did anyone peep that?
No.
Did not.
No, I liked it. I won't go really too much into it. He's got a cool flow, really interesting voice. Solid 3.5. Solid lattes out of there.
Cheers.
Definitely worth checking. It's only 2 songs. The EP is literally 2 songs, but it's good. Next, this is the album of the week. Benny the Butcher, Burden of Proof.
Yeah.
All produced by Hit Boy. It basically sounds like Rockefeller in 2003. Soul
100%.
beat. He's talking real shit.
Just Blaze,
yeah.
Heatmakers.
It's fucking insane. I got to listen to it again. I didn't listen to it once. I need to soak it up. There's just too much music.
Same.
Insane. I can't say enough. Like, we're already on his dick. Everyone knows it, but like,
Yeah, pause. Big
yeah,
pause.
big pause.
Big pause.
You
What
know, don't want
are
Benny
you
to think
rating,
otherwise.
mate? What are you going?
5 perfectly made pumpkin spice lattes and a hug from a girl in Ugg boots and Infinity Scarf for that basic full perfection album that he gave us.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking what it is.
Praise the baby. I'll fucking chuck in every single. So we're talking. If there is, I don't even know. Mans don't eat Skittles like that. If there's 5 bags of Skittles that are different, fam, all different bags, and you get it in a hamper on a layer of Starburst in it.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Feel me? Yeah. Yeah, that's like a A+5.
That's a flat. Okay. All right. Okay.
I fucks with that.
Dan and Terry, did anyone hear it?
Yeah, I fucks with it heavy. This is like Defo album of the week. Like,
Album of the week, not even a
I give it 6 bowls of poutine.
Oh shit! He
6.
gave it 6.
Oh.
6.
Fuck! I should have given it 6.
6.
We
But
changed your mind to 6.
You know when
Is
you
it
get
only
the
album of the week or album
Stay in
of
the
the
limits.
I would say it's
Playing it safe.
It's hard because it's October 19 or something, so we've got a couple weeks. But so far, I don't know what else could beat this.
unless
it's that
Drake
exceptional.
releases something, then I don't know.
Yeah.
What could be.
Because they're
Right.
just
Is Lil
production.
Wayne releasing something? Come on,
Did
what's his
anything beat
name?
it in September?
Maybe the closest would be Conway's from King to a God album, which was the other most exceptional one. I think this tops it. Just though, it's just it's the reason why it's over and above. Like basically the type of music that Griselda had been doing is that grimy Alchemist. Sometimes no fucking drums, just these grimy ass shit with these drug music. This sounds like a Jay-Z album from 2003 that maybe Kanye or Just Spray's producers no said, but he's talking about other things, and it's more of a rounded personality from someone you've only seen one thing from, and from the dude who's got to be the MVP of 2020s everywhere. Every album that's out that I loved, he's on it. One of the next albums we're going to talk about, he's on it. Like he's just everywhere, and I'm extremely impressed.
Features, yeah.
Man,
he's hard.
it's definitely brilliant. So
good.
can't express enough. All right, we'll keep it moving. Next, Mace and Total. I don't know why they did this, but they did a couple stripped versions. So they did "Tell Me What You Want." There was also a what's the big one? Who's not? Tell me who. What's that song?
The Mace,
I don't know
yeah.
what that song is. Forgot the name of it. But they did that. But I need to put the Total one on here because I thought it was something they just recorded and then popped it out. But it almost sounds like the studio version with like guitars underneath it instead. But it was cool. It was nice to hear it because it was the Mace song. Did anyone check it?
I remember queuing it, but I didn't listen to it.
No. Okay, it's whatever. It's kind of fun. It's a nice throwback. I give it 3. We'll keep it going. This was a very surprisingly good album. Chic Luch dropped an album called Beast Mode 4.
Ooh.
This was fucking great. You don't realize how dope of an MC Chic is. He sounds as on point as he did in 1998. Like this guy,
Damn.
he sounds fresh. Like he's moved with the times.
Yo,
He's
I
talking
didn't
about
check this
stuff.
still. I'm definitely going to check this.
I like this more than the Lux album. This was great, and I really appreciated this project.
Beast Mode 4,
I'm
eh?
100% going back to it, man.
Fucking geese.
This was my big surprise of the week. Just because
I
I don't
the
know.
whole thing in a row. Fucking
Yeah.
sick.
Just when you have like a Chic, one Lux member, they aren't always that like.
I'm gonna have a
cohesive
coffee and a spliff to this tomorrow
Oh
morning,
yeah,
bud.
man, it's really great. I give it a solid
You
4.5.
fucking worry.
4.5. Good.
4.5?
Good, yeah, some great features
Might have
too.
2 coffees to that one.
Yeah, mate.
Goes for half an hour, eh?
Yeah, it's nice, short and sweet. 10 songs or something, I think.
That's fucking sick.
It's exactly what it needed to be. Anyone else here?
Added to the list.
No, I didn't listen to it.
All right, perfect.
I'm going to,
Highly
man.
recommended. This was
fucking.
there's another album come up in a sec that was equally as surprising, which is crazy. Next, Jared James, dude from Australia, dropped a song called Miracles. I liked it. He's got a cool voice. Wasn't as good as his old shit, to be honest, but it was cool. I like he had some like really phenomenal music a few years back. This was cool. Did anyone check for this?
No, I didn't check this.
No. I went
Very
on
changed.
about
I did not, mate. No.
Yeah, it's great. I'd say check the old stuff and the new shit, but this was cool. I'll give it 3. Next, this other one was a very surprising one. So the group is called the Serial Killers, and the album says Serial Killers present Summer of Sam, and the Serial Killers are Exhibit, Be Real, and Demrick. Apparently they've done music before, but this album, I just heard it today, it fucking slaps. It's all about the pandemic. Every single
I got
song.
referred this recently too.
Every song
didn't get to this.
Bro, it was one of the... Dan texted me about today. It's like, yo, did you hear that shit? I'm like, no.
My man's like mad people, like, well, not mad people, like a few of the close homies like recommended this shit. I just didn't get to it.
That's okay.
Fucking boom.
Listen to this after Chic. The beat, I don't know who produced it, but the beats were tough. Exhibit sounds great. I can't believe how tough he sounds. Be Real sounds on point.
Sick, like.
Demrick, I didn't really know of.
Exhibit's
beforehand.
got like more bass in his voice than earlier. He's like fucking.
But he's like,
mean.
he hasn't lost it. None of these dudes. Like, so I was so impressed this week because there's Benny, who are older dude, but coming out with his shit now, sounding like he's from 2003. And then you got Chic from the 90s, sounding fire and fresh. And then this with 3. I don't know about Demrick if he's an older rapper or not, but the other 2 dudes, legends. It was like well put. I mean, some of the hooks were a little corny and stuff here and there, but like the actual way they described, like they had story tracks, hip hop. But they had like story tracks that were written from the perspective of people who were like, fuck that, I'm going to take the car and meet my boys out on Crenshaw. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I'm not worried about masks and all this shit. And it was like a cool way to position the whole pandemic stuff. And it was just
you
really
can actually picture in your head like what was happening.
Yep.
And like it was mad. They like addressed how some people were uncomfortable being inside, how some people didn't give a fuck. They were just going outside. It's so sick. Like honestly.
Don't Feature DJ Quick was on there.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, a few other cats.
Legend.
It was just I really, really appreciated this one. This one was a real love
so
fun.
good at the time.
So Chic in this one, 100%. I'm going to give that also 4.5. Fantastically well made. When you go to a place and you're like, I'm trying it out for the first time, you don't know, and you get that fire coffee, you're like, I'm coming back here. That's what that is.
Surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good.
Nah,
nice.
I get that. I'll give it a. I don't want to give too many things 5. I'll give it 4.75.
Oh, I like that.
I approached it not feeling too good about it. I was thinking Exhibit like
same.
When old rappers just come back randomly, but then this one was like another surprisingly good one. Like when you go to a random chicken shop and it's just like. They do poutine, and then you have it, and it's like, yo, this is sick.
Like, why didn't no one tell me
that?
Why
no one told me? So, yeah, 4.75.
Love it. Great one. We got like 3 left. Next, Bootsy Collins and Snoop did the funkiest single of the week called Jam On. This was so dope.
This is hard.
Actually, there's some good music this week. There's a lot of weak shit earlier, but this is like strong finish. Snoop and Bootsy, great song. It sounds exactly like you think it would. Bootsy sounds great. It's
the
like,
Hizzle Dizzle.
Yeah, I was like exactly that level Snoop and shit is like it's a fucking bop, man. 4.5. Slap up.
If someone told me this was released in 1999,
I would
have been like,
or 1979.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's hard. Like I'll give that one solid 4.5.
Yeah.
Bowls of the perfect poutine.
Love it.
Just
nailed
so
it.
Good. Just
classic poots. Anyone else check it?
Classic poots.
No, I haven't. But I'm going to.
Yeah,
I'm loving this.
Yeah, man, this is good.
Smoke mad weed to it.
Yes, you need to smoke mad weed. Speaking of smoke, next it's D-Smoke. Hey, new single called Rapture. This was cool because the concept was what if there were no women, and what would that? It's weird, but like D-Smoke is one of the most talented motherfuckers in the game. Yeah, well, that man's be joking a lot.
Yeah,
but
was interesting.
Yeah, the video was cool. Hyper well produced. I don't know. Tiff loves D-Smoke, and I'm banging with him.
Question about D-Smoke. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this before, but don't you think Rhythm and Flow was the most creative way to introduce a new artist to the music industry?
Yes, and it was the most authentic.
They knew he was going to win before, like,
I imagine so.
That episode was created around him winning.
No one was as good as him. No one could possibly have.
I think the whole thing was staged.
That could be fair because he's also Sir's brother. So, like...
Yeah, like, I think the whole thing was staged, and it was the most interesting way a new artist... Most artists get introduced to the music industry with a single, or an album, or a music video. This guy, they put out a TV series where you got to learn about him, see all his different capabilities in terms of freestyling, rapping, singing, writing, all of it.
Yeah.
And then bond with him and get attached to him like if it was a TV series you're watching. and then he releases an album a week after the show finale comes out.
Yeah, which was actually quite weak, unfortunately. But the next one, Black Habits, was incredible.
Yeah.
You make a great point. I didn't think of it like that. That's why you fuck with it. That's why he's got millions of followers when his brother had a couple 100,000, and he went straight to 1 million in like a couple weeks after the show. Tiff said no, More Money, More Problems was the Mace song. Of course it was. Jesus Christ. And she said, yeah, they neglected to mention the entire time he was Sir's brother, which definitely sounds a bit shady. And then they added a full fan base to him instantaneously. But the thing is, he came through and he put like Issa Rae and shit in the videos. Like he had the most creative.
Yeah.
Everything about what he's doing is exceptional. Like it's the opposite of whack reality TV music shows. Like, and it was authentic as MCs. That's how it works. It was amazing.
And he speaks Spanish and stuff too.
Yeah, which he pushes a little too hard.
To do it for.
Yeah, like exactly. The Spanish thing, like he keeps doing it. So I'm like, all right, bro, we fucking get it. But like, it's cool. Yeah, Tiff is just saying he's actually amazing, and his music and videos are dope as fuck. The videos specifically. So I give that a solid 4 for good lattes. Did anyone else hear it?
Yeah, I heard it. It was it was good. Good, like you can imagine what he was saying and stuff. You have to like deep think. But I thought the song just sounded a bit weird. You know, I couldn't bop to it. Yeah, it's like you have to be in the zone. You have to kind of think about it. I'll get 3.5 solid bowls of decent poutine. You know?
It's something I enjoyed, but not necessarily something I'd go back to.
Yeah, it has no replay value. Like, but it's a good song, just no replay.
Yeah. It sounds almost like an album track and something you should release as a single because it's a little bit too conceptual type of thing.
Or something I'd shoot a short film to.
Yeah, exactly. And you do it for that, and it's a piece of art as opposed to be a promotional thing for a project. Yeah. Love it. All right, 2 more albums, guys. Next, J Electronica dropped Act 2, The Patents of Nobility, based on a guy that my friend Cam knows who leaked it via I think it's Discord group that leaks all the shit, and then that forced the response was so positive that J Elec actually put it on Tidal. So I didn't listen to it because I don't have Tidal. And I couldn't be fucked torrenting it because there's too much other music. Did anyone check this?
I didn't check this one.
I didn't know.
Nosh?
I found it on YouTube and I got halfway through it. It was pretty sweet. I need to give it like a full listen. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, fuck. So far, so good. Bunch of the exhibit fucking ABC samples are like through the whole songs that I heard, and this is just like finished listening to it. So work in progress.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It's a WIP fam.
Bit of a whip.
Whip us.
I'll jump on that for next time. Cool.
Whammy.
And the last one.
Whammy.
Next, T.I. dropped an album called The Libra. I listened to this today. I'm not typically a T.I. fan. This album slapped. Like I really
enjoyed what I heard.
Yeah, man.
Same. I really enjoyed what I heard.
But like surprisingly, like I thought I would stop it like a few songs in and be like, fuck it, let me listen to the exhibit shit. And I listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, it was good. He has a feature with like Young Thug and stuff. That Young Thug song was so good.
It was cool.
Like I never really thought like it's exactly the same as Exhibit. Like when I saw the artist, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna skip through it.
Yeah.
There was a couple songs that I was like, it's not
there's a couple.
But then like there's like 20 songs, isn't it? Like
it's long. Yeah.
About 18 of the 20 songs were hard.
Like pretty hard.
Like, they were pretty hard.
He had a nice mix of features from like you said, like Young Thug, Lil Baby, and then like didn't he have like. Was it Jadakiss or like?
Yeah, he had like some old school artists as well.
We had Rick Ross on a joint.
Yeah, that Rick Ross tune was hard as well.
There were some real good features that were balanced, and he had this one amazing interlude with this poet that was like talking about George, like I
remember,
it was moving. Like I was like, whoa, I'm not quite choked up, and like, oh shit, like all right, type of thing.
Lil Baby, Jeremiah, Rhapsody, Benny the Butcher,
Conway,
so many, Conway, 21 Savage, like.
It's a nice mix, and it was well executed. The production was fire, and it was something that I did not expect from T.I. Even though he had a problematic launch party the other night, I think it was Thursday night at a club, a packed club, in the middle of COVID, where in the country who has the most deaths. So a little bit irresponsible, dude. It was irresponsible as fuck. No masks, packed room, bro. Like a normal club. You think of a club. Like I saw like some video footage from someone filmed it of him and Tiny sitting there and then zoomed out and panned across and it just looked like a packed Saturday night at any given
Wow.
That's
regular
crazy.
time cost.
That's
Yeah.
fucked.
So that was irresponsible. But I give that a solid 4. Like, once again, you go to a place, you don't think it's going to be good. You get that fire latte, you're like, oh my God,
It's hard.
I'm going to come through.
No,
Yeah, I didn't complete it.
You didn't complete it?
I can't give it a fair rating, but I did like what I heard so far, and I will continue.
I respect it.
I'll give it a 4.5 bowls of poutine from the random shop you never tried before. You know? And it's just really hot, really spicy.
Yep.
Perfectly melted cheese. It's really
Love
good.
it when it all comes through.
Cool comes through.
So that is it pretty much for the episode, ladies and gentlemen. We did a nice 2 1/4, you know. Figured it'd be lengthy. Uncle Terry, mate, thank you so much for coming through and hanging out, bro. Love it. Let me give that applause. Get that applause.
Mate.
Uncle Terry.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Where can the people first of all, find you online, and second of all, purchase these glorious pieces of clothing?
So my Instagram is just my first and my last name, Joshua Telfer. And yeah, that you just DM me directly and we'll sort your size and get it shipped out. My website is believedreamsdesignlife.com.
And you can also, so we all chose the hoodies. Dan and Tiff got the sweater. Don't show the sweater.
Cool.
Show the man down the sweater. The crew neck sweater, which is super crispy. Look at that. Look at that. Show that pretty smile there, Dan. Hey, give it to him. So, you know, you can always do them and customize them. And also, of course, a portion of it goes to a charity that, you know, you'll be supporting, something that will be supporting black folks during, you know, social justice type stuff and make sure people are helped out who need it. I love it. Nosh, where can everyone find you, my G?
At Notion Baby on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. At IllNote Studios, Instagram and Facebook. IllNoteStudios.com. Mixing, mastering, photography. Say good day. Talk about your feelings. Let's get it in and have a nice time. How about you, Dan? What are you saying, mate?
Yeah, same as usual. You know, Instagram is, well, actually, myself, Twitter is IDanJohnson. Don't really post, but obviously I retweet funny stuff, so come check that. Instagram is also IDanJohnson. I'm planning a post soon, so you know all the fans.
It's gonna be
it's gonna be the Black Lives Matter stuff. You know,
we're gonna make sure we get the photo shoots going.
Obviously, and I might as well plug my gaming stuff. You know, I have a gaming Instagram sort of thing. So if you're into that sort of stuff, Call of Duty and shit, it's HDF Gaming, but it's HDFGXMING. So anyone else obviously wanting to look at funny, but obviously 200 IQ plays, have a look at that.
Look at that. Love video games. And y'all can check me at CEEFOR, Twitter and Instagram. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. Follow us on social media at The Movement Fam everywhere. We go live at 8 p.m. Eastern every Monday. The audio is typically available the next day on every fucking podcast place you listen to that shit. Mans be out there. Terry, we're gonna take the thumbnail right now, so let's make sure that everybody can see the gear. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Ready? Boom. Look at us looking sexy. Josh, thank you again, guys. Make sure you go follow Josh, check out his work, support what he's doing. Stick around as well, Terry, afterwards for the Skype thing. And we'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, exit theme. Oh.
Hey.
You see that. Peace.